America's team and a new leader return to the spotlight, winning 16 and capturing their third world championship. Across town, the Mavericks endured the second worst record in NBA history, winning only 11 games as they hit rock bottom. Now, rookie coach Quinn Buckner has taken over, and a new era has begun for the young Mavs. Tonight, Mashburn and Company hosts new addition Harvey Grant and the Trailblazers. Portland seeks to make it 12 straight over the Mavs. Next on TNT. Union Arena in Dallas, where just a few years ago the place was rocking and rolling. Now they are laying a foundation for a new Dallas Mavericks era. And tonight they take another step. They take on the Portland Trailblazers. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin. In Pat Riley's book, The Winner Within, he says you can only receive what you are willing to give. And that is something Quinn Buckner is trying to teach his young troops.
This has to be a give and take situation, but you got to be unselfish. I mean, everybody's got to make some sacrifices. We have some guys that like to get more shots, and I'm sure there are guys that want to handle the ball more. But what's in the best interest of the team has to be paramount, and it's taken some young men longer than others, but I do believe that we'll get it. I've seen signs, very positive signs about the way guys answer questions to yourself and to the balance of the media. So it's coming, but it's something that you would like to have happen overnight, but this situation didn't get here overnight, so it's not going to turn around overnight.
Doug, one thing Quinn Buckner stressed to us today is he is indeed laying the foundation, but he is finding out it is a difficult task.
Ron, anytime you take over a losing situation, the first thing you must change is attitude, and you must make these guys understand that just because you're with the Mavericks does not mean we're supposed to lose. Guys take bad shots. They have defensive lapses. They've been coming out of the ball game. I think Quinn is trying to let them know this is the way we're going to play the game. If you will do that when they're young, then the winning will come. They've had some very difficult early losses, some close losses. They're much better than their 118 record indicates, but I really believe they need a win tonight just to get that excitement of winning and that feeling once again.
Well, Doug, while Dallas is trying to get to the top, Portland is trying to remain on top. Now, this is a team that's kept the same nucleus for 5 years. They went to the finals in 90 and 92, but they're struggling this season.
Well, I think the one thing when you talk about Portland, you talk about high energy, great rebounding defense. This is a team that has prided itself in those areas. When you look at the numbers over the last few years, you're seeing in 90-91, they jumped out of the gate 19-1, plus 8.7 point differential. Look what's happened now through the years. Their field goal percentage is now down to 46. Opponents up to 48. Point differential down to plus 2.5. They're still the top rebounding team in the NBA, but their defense is very poor right now. They're giving up easy scores. They're not getting easy baskets. I watched this team warm up. They're a very solemn team right now. They're ripe right now for Dallas to beat them tonight.
Quickly, the matchup we'll be watching, Jimmy Jackson against Clyde Drexler.
And that should be a good one. Jimmy Jackson playing very well right now. The last 4 ball games, averaging about 20 points, shooting 53% from the field. Look for him and Drexler to have a nice matchup early in this ball game.
Well, Doug, Dallas had their problem with Portland recently. They have lost 17 of the last 18 to the Blazers. In fact, the last Dallas win was back in January of 1991. We'll send it back to Ernie, then come back to Dallas to the Blazers and the Mavericks.
Head coach Lenny Wilkins faces his old team, the Cavs, coached by the guy who used to coach the Hawks, Mike Fratello. Adding to that storyline, the Hawks come in with a franchise-high 13-game winning streak. Early on at Richfield, there's Mike. And there's Lenny. And for the Hawks, there's Mookie. Finding Kevin Willis. Hawks are on a serious roll, folks. As they go to the second period at Richfield, they have a 29-24 lead. Stacey Augmon has scored 10 points in the first quarter for Atlanta. Houston's trying to go 20-1. They've held Miami to 12 points in the first quarter. 23-12 is the Rocket lead. Late in the first, New York with a 32-22 lead over the Denver Nuggets. Charlotte has a 3-point lead over Minnesota. They are late in the first at the Charlotte Coliseum. In the second, the Lakers trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, lead Detroit 25-24. The Bullets are 0 for December, 0-7, and they trail Indiana 26-21 in the first at Market Square. Back at halftime with more highlights and bonus coverage, but straight ahead, it's back to Reunion Arena. Clyde Drexler and the Blazers square up with the rookie, Jamal Mashburn and the Mavs. Next. on TNT.
We are back at Reunion Arena in Dallas, where the Dallas Mavericks set to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Dallas 1-18, Portland 11-9, 4-6 on the road as we take a look at the Chrysler Plymouth starting matchup.
I think another early matchup we want to watch is Harvey Grant and Jamal Mashburn. Mashburn very strong, and will Portland have to double team him and give Harvey Grant help when he tries to post?
Head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Rick Adelman, a 6-year record of 255 and 128, picked up win number 250 this year, and only Pat Riley picked up his 250th win faster. And first-year coach Quinn Buckner laying the foundation for the Dallas Mavericks, and somehow that is an appropriate pose heading into this ball game. Mavericks 0-10 here at Reunion Arena, a place that once used to rock to Otis Day in the Night singing shout with 17,007 on their feet. Some exciting games here. Quinn Buckner, Rick Sun, Norm Sanju, and the rest of the staff looking to bring that same atmosphere back. As we look at Terry Porter, coming in with a 14.4 average for the Blazers. The officials, Billy Oakes, Bernie Fryer, and Ted Bernhardt. A late arriving crowd, and that has been a tradition here in Dallas. But back then, they'd fill it up at 17,000. This late arriving crowd will probably equal about 13 tonight. Well, the Portland Trail Blazers want to get out quickly in this ball game and make Dallas make the plays. Let's see if they can do just that. As Greg Dreiling, the former Kansas Jayhawk, controls the tip, Mavericks with the ball.
For people seeing Dallas the first time, they run the Chicago triple post offense.
And that has been under a lot of criticism as Jackson, the little flick shot from the outside. He averages 17 as his first two.
You can see early they want to get opportunities for Jim Jackson. When we talked to Quinn Buckner today, he said, we want to see if Clyde Drexler is into the game defensively. That was a very easy opportunity, and Jim Jackson off to a good start, hitting the 15 to 18-foot jump shot.
Harper on Porter. Harper used to have thief written on his license plate here in Dallas. Was always a leader among the steals in the NBA. Off balance, hooked by Williams. Jackson after the outlet by Popeye Jones. Here's the rookie Mashburn, former SEC Player of the Year last year. Came out after his junior season. Bryant controls the rebound. It is an extremely quiet crowd here, as you might expect. Grant, their acquisition from the Washington Bullets, his first shot, nothing but air. Here come the Mavericks on the run, have a chance to take a 4-0 lead. Jackson on top, works it near side to Mashburn. Mashburn, the leading scorer for the Mavericks at 19.5 a game. That is Derek Harper from the outside.
This is a jump shooting kind of offense, so you're going to get a lot of rebounding opportunities. The one thing that Dallas has done a very good job, this offense also puts you in a good position to keep people close to the basket for rebound opportunities. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, so off to a good start here tonight. Dallas hitting 2 of their first 3 jump shots and executing very well.
Well, Dreiling commits the foul. That is his first. Terry Davis, of course, and Randy White of the Dallas Mavericks on the injured list. Davis just cleared to practice, had his first practice for Dallas yesterday.
The isolation for Drexler against Popeye Jones.
Bills may have gotten a little piece of it, tipped up. Williams had a chance. Dreiling takes it out, clears it to Harper. Mavericks have the numbers if they hurry.
Okay, like you might see a quick 20-second timeout here if Portland does not get into this game. As I talked about, Ron, I did not think they were into it warming up, and right now they just appear to be just sort of going up and down the floor on cruise control. They do not want to let this game slip away.
Williams goes baseline right around Greg Dreiling, and that is something that should be open for Buck Williams all evening. 4-2, Mavericks lead it. We've played 1 minute and 10 seconds at Reunion. Mashburn had some strong comments for Quinn Buckner early in the season. They have since made peace, says Quinn, and it has all been forgotten. A lot of players have had comments, from everything from the offense. As Terry Porter turns it over, he went to pass it, decided not to do it. First turnover in the ball game.
I think, Ron, what happens is the frustration of players. You start losing, and it just everything builds up, and guys have a tendency to speak their mind today, and I think that's what happened with these young guys. I think with Quinn, he's trying to make them understand, if you have a problem, come to me, let's not do it publicly. So, see Mashburn with another jump shot. He's now 0 for 2 from the field, both little jump shots about 18 feet on the right baseline.
Grant with the rebound. The Portland Trail Blazers, #1 in rebounding in the NBA percentage-wise. Jackson has to pull up on the dribble, gets it right back. Doug touched on briefly, the Mavericks have played close games. 8 losses have been by 7 or less. Jackson forces it up. Here comes Grant. It's 2-on-2.
Those are the kind of shots that Quinn Buckner does not want to see. Forced shots in traffic, which leads to rebounds, which leads to transition, fast break, or jump shot opportunities for Portland. So Jimmy Jackson can get a better shot than that. Here's another quick shot by Harper, although that one does go in.
Derek Harper, who has been the main leader of trade talks for the last 3 years, he says. Mavericks, no secret that they'd like to comply with Derek Harper's wishes and move him on, but the problem is working a deal as Derek makes about $2.8 a year. Traveling called on Bryant. They'll go the other way with the Mavericks leading by 2. Second turnover for the Blazers. Harper gets it swatted away by Williams. Ball knocked out. Mavericks will have it with 19 on the shot clock.
Well, Buck Williams saves the score here. Terry Porter is beaten on the drive, and Buck Williams with a nice block shot. The ball does go off the outstretched arm of Terry Porter, so Dallas will inbound underneath their own basket.
These two teams have already met once this year. Portland won it 103-90. That was back on the 21st of November.
When you look at this team right now, Dallas really does not have a threat to post up. They're really a perimeter team with Harper, Mashburn, and Jimmy Jackson.
Mashburn, as the shot clock going down, doesn't get it. Williams, here comes Porter. It is a 4-on-2 if they hurry. Williams, Jackson gets a piece of his arm, and Jimmy Jackson will be whistled for his first personal foul.
That's really when Portland is at their best. A good defensive sequence. They rebound, they get the ball out, either Buck Williams or you get a forward out running the lane. We've seen Jerome Kersey in that situation through the career. We've seen Buck Williams, we've seen Porter, Drexler, Rod Strickland. When they're at their best, Ron, they're in the open court getting those kind of opportunities and not settling for the outside jump shots. When Portland becomes a stagnant offensive team where they fire up quick jump shots, they're very easily defense team because they're not really, other than Porter and maybe Harvey Grant, what you would consider a good outside shooting team.
Well, Popeye Jones will sit down. Doug Smith will come into the lineup. Doug Smith wearing jersey number 34, a third-year pro out of Missouri, was a first-round pick back in '91, 6th overall. Buck gets them both. He has 4 for the ball game. Portland now shooting just 29%. Dallas at 30%. We're tied, as you might imagine, at 6. Harper, he walked with it. We'll go the other way. First Dallas turnover. Boy, I tell you, Doug, we've seen Portland a lot the last couple of years with basically, as we talked about, the same nucleus, but tonight they look very lethargic. They don't look like they have any type of intensity.
Well, we talked about that warming up. Drexler with the outside jump shot. Clyde has really been struggling with his perimeter shooting on the season, shooting only 41%. From the three-point line, shooting 26%.
How about 5 points against Orlando?
Yeah, that's why I expected him to come out and really look to have a big night. That's a tough shot by Greg Dreiling. That's really not his shot.
Watch Drexler going up against Jackson. Now watch the way when he goes up, he sort of kicks his legs on the jump shot.
Well, he's always been an unorthodox shooter in that he shoots off his right foot, and normally right-handed jump shooters use their left foot as their shot, as the foot that they get prepared to shoot with. So he's always been unorthodox. His legs have not been as strong in the last couple of years. His shot has been flat, and that's why I think he struggled with it.
Dallas has missed their last 5 shots. Shot clock's at 15, plenty of time. Harper running the show. Goes around Porter, still shows some moves. Dreiling, and you have to wonder, Doug, when you have Mashburn, Harper, Jackson, and even Doug Smith, why Greg Dreiling is shooting the last 2 shots.
Well, that's just it. That's what happens. Greg Dreiling has never been a scorer throughout his career, and now he's looking to take some shots. That's really not his game. It's rebounding and defense.
Somebody get the basketball, and the white jerseys do, with 6:45 left in the first. The Blazers up by 2.
Ron, it's been a long time since I've broadcast a game where there's been no crowd involved in it. This is really strange as you see Harper bury the three-point shot, but this is, I mean, it's so quiet in here right now. It's like we're making an adjustment to doing this game and waiting for the crowd noise.
I think we have more crew here than people right now. Bryant, nice move inside, can't complete it, but Buck Williams is there. We have a loose ball foul. Greg Dreiling with the foul. We have a timeout. We'll be back. The Mavericks lead at 9-8. Harper, part of the team in '88 that made it to the Western Conference Finals. They're the starting lineup back in '88. And that is something that is hard on Derek Harper. He has seen the good days, but now he's seeing the bad.
It's been extremely frustrating. I think anytime you go through consecutive losing seasons like we have here in Dallas, I think it's frustrating for you. The tough part for me is what you said, experiencing the good, experiencing some winning, and knowing what it takes to win and doing the things that it takes to win. It makes it doubly frustrating for me. We're a young basketball team that's rebuilding, basically, and I think when you take that step to rebuild, you have to suffer some of the things that we're going through.
What they're going through right now is a growing process. Derek Harper has been nothing but a professional the last 2 years for this Dallas Mavericks organization.
Ron, I think the Mavericks have their best team on the floor right now. You've got Harper and Jackson at guards with Mashburn, Doug Smith, and Sean Rooks in the game. I think this really is their best team. We'll have to see how this team is able to perform now as we see Doug Smith get the foul. As Drexler goes to the line now, he'll shoot 2 free throws. But I think that this is their 5 best players.
Drexler, as mentioned, only 5 points against Orlando. Looking at his numbers.
Well, you can really see that with the leg injury. You have to remember the '92 Dream Team when he had the knee surgery. Last year he struggled, missed 33 games, shot 43% this year. It's down under 42%, actually at 41.7. And he's not getting those easy baskets, the high-flying slam dunks that he's gotten in the past.
Their athleticism of Portland was their strength a few years ago. Now it apparently is one of their weaknesses.
Nice, that was nice. Nice extra pass.
Mashburn had his foot on the line. It was a 2. It doesn't go anyway. Tied up at 9, 5:40 left in the first, along with Doug Collins, Ron Thulin, and Clyde Drexler.
Those are the easy baskets right there that Portland really needs to get themselves back in sync. Nice, strong defensive rebound, the outlet pass, and the easy layup.
Sean Rooks, number 45, working on Bryant. Rooks, coming off an excellent campaign last year, was the starting center at the beginning of the 92-93 season. We have a whistle and a foul. And it'll be on Grant, his first personal foul.
Cliff Robinson ready to check in now for the Portland Trailblazers, along with Rod Strickland. Harvey Grant and Mark Bryant will sit down, so this will put Strickland and Porter in the backcourt. Excuse me, Porter will sit down, so it'll be Strickland and Drexler in the backcourt.
Harper from way outside, Doug.
Yeah, they're just living with those outside jump shots. This is a good opportunity now for this offensive rebound, but see, the one thing you get into sometimes with the offense that they're running is you settle for a lot of jump shots. Now, when you're shooting well, that's good, but you must make sure you get offensive rebounds. And one of the strengths we talked about, the Mavericks, they're getting over 15 offensive rebounds a game, so they're getting a lot of shots at the basket. Problem is they're only shooting 43% on the year, which is 26th in the NBA.
As you look at Jamal Mashburn, the leading scorer for the Dallas Mavericks at 19.5, the leading scorer among all their rookies this year. That's his first 2 of the ball game. Mavericks and Blazers tied up at 11. We have 5 minutes left in the first. Drexler working on Jackson. Used to be, he had that first step that would blow by defenders. It was not there. Robinson has the baseline cut off, tries to force the pass. Portland has it, 17 on the shot clock.
Now, the one thing about Cliff Robinson's games, when you look at his numbers, his offensive numbers are all improving. The one thing they're concerned about, he's not nearly the defensive stopper that he once was, and they really need him because he's a multi-position defensive player. He can come in and do that. He's scoring big numbers. He's actually their leading scorer coming off the bench at over 21 points a game. But they really need the defense from him, either on the 3, 4, or 5-man, because he gives them such a versatile player that you can bring into the game.
The last 4 games, though, Robinson has struggled, shooting only 37%. The coaches tell us that he's trying to do too much. He's trying to pick this team up and do everything for them. Harper from the arc, doesn't get it. Only one white jersey around the basketball. It was Mashburn. Blazers have it. Strickland, who's having an excellent year. Can't get it to go. Rooks with the rebound, the outlet. Last touch by Dallas, they say. Portland has the basketball.
I don't think anybody touched that ball. I think that Rooks outletted looking for Harper. One of the Portland Trailblazers stepped in to get the steal. He realized he was not going to get there, and he backed off of the ball. And really no one touched it. Rooks just threw the ball out of bounds.
2 turnovers now for both teams. Drexler goes down. Fans wanted to travel. They're not going to get it. Drexler with the rebound, puts it right back up. Can't get it to go. We have a whistle, a loose ball foul. Dallas has the ball. That's on Buck Williams, his first. You see Clyde Drexler, one of the best rebounding 2 guards in the NBA. The organist trying to get these few fans that are here roused up.
Post opportunity for Jimmy Jackson against Drexler.
Went right around him. Go! He was going to lay it up. Decided to go for the slam. Didn't get anything. Clyde the other way. Knocks over Popeye Jones. That'll be a charge on Clyde Drexler. And that is something the coaches told us, is that Clyde Drexler is committing more charges this year than he ever has.
Look at Jimmy Jackson. Nice move here. He felt like he was pushed by Clyde. And then the offensive foul on the other end where Drexler runs over Popeye Jones. Nice play by Popeye to step in there and draw the offensive foul against Clyde Drexler.
But Doug, we saw, how many times have we seen in years past, Clyde would just go over top of people like that instead of dishing it off. This time, the charge. Portland has it. Pushed out of bounds by Sean Rooks. That'll be Rooks' first personal foul.
Lucius Harris into the ball game now for the Dallas Mavericks. The coaching staff very high on them, very high on him. When we talked to them today, Quinn felt very good about him. Said he's an excellent shooter, competes, strong, quick, but that he's going to have to work on the weights in the offseason, as he's finding out now when he gets into that lane area, he's having a difficult time completing his shots. So Jimmy Jackson actually now moves to the point guard, so they have a very big lineup now, very big backcourt with Jackson and Lucius Harris.
Rod Strickland gets the first. Rod Strickland gets the second. Strickland averaging just over 15 a game. He has 2 this evening, and the Blazers have their biggest lead at 4, 15-11. Dallas has been able to connect only 1 field goal in the last 5.5 minutes.
They really have only had 1 post opportunity. Going back to Jimmy Jackson again, who gets the double team. But everything is a jump shot right now.
Sweet Lou, they call him. It doesn't go. Tries to get the tip. Popeye Jones battles his way. He has long arms and soft hands.
And he also has more offensive rebounds on the year than he does defense, too. So one of the things he does is gives him an opportunity to get second and third opportunities.
Popeye Jones, whose real name is Ronald Jerome Jones, was nicknamed Popeye by a family member, is Harvey Grant takes it inside, his first 2.
Harvey Grant has really not had the scoring opportunities that he had in Washington. An 18-point-per-game scorer in Washington, averaging only 10 here for the Blazers.
They expected a lot more out of him, I think, scoring-wise. That'll be an offensive foul on Jamal Mashburn. That is his first personal. He doesn't like it. It doesn't matter. Fouls on Mashburn. Timeout, 2:20 left in the first. Blazers by 4. Take a look at Harvey Grant.
Well, Harvey Grant is the scorer. They post him up against Mashburn. The little baby hook in the lane gets a soft roll. We'll take a look at Harvey Grant's numbers. You see what he's done over the last 3 seasons. This year, remember, he came over in the trade with Kevin Duckworth, who went to Washington. Chris Dudley was signed in the controversial signing that changed the salary cap rules. He played 3 games, has a fractured ankle. And really, Portland has been struggling to find someone to play the middle, and they really have not gotten in the sync all season long. So this might be a process for the Blazers that it's going to take them a while before we really find out who they are and what kind of team they can be for the playoffs.
Would it be fair, Doug, to say that Harvey Grant is not a true power forward?
Oh, no. You look at his body. Harvey Grant's a small forward with a power forward's size in terms of height. But he's really a jump shooter, a guy that you run off screens. Here's an unforced error by Jimmy Jackson going to Mashburn.
Nice hustle by Popeye Jones. Ran the length of the court to knock it away from Grant, and that is something Quinn Buckner likes about Jones. Of course, Popeye Jones, originally drafted in the 2nd round by Houston in the '92 draft, spent the year in Italy. Brooks inside the double pump, won't get it to go. Jones had the rebound and lost it to the hands of Buck Williams. 5 rebounds already for Williams. He's averaging 10 a ball game. Robinson, the right-handed one-hander.
See, Cliff Robinson has the speed and quickness to really get out on the floor. I don't see any big man right now from Dallas. Rooks just cannot run with him, nor can Popeye Jones. So we'll have to watch him to see if he can get some easy scores in the fast break.
Mashburn goes inside, reverse, no basket. Stepped out.
You know what I see right now, Ron? I see on the Dallas Mavericks face a team that really wants to do a good job. But I see right now a team that I think is not playing with much emotion. You notice the stoic look on all their faces. And I didn't get to see all these guys play in college to see that Cliff Robinson with a great dunk. But they're searching for some enthusiasm right now, and they're making some mistakes. And they just have to play through those mistakes. That's all. It's going to happen.
Quinn Buckner said his biggest job is learning patience. It's one of the biggest obstacles. Says Portland's opened the biggest lead of the game. It is an 8 on a 10-2 run. Dallas, as you saw, now 2 of their last 16 field goals. Harris had a piece of it. They're struggling.
See, there's Cliff Robinson again in the open court. They're not going to be able to cover him. Rooks and Popeye Jones just cannot get back to him. That's 4 quick points now for him.
The bank is open for Robinson. He has 8 for the ball game. The lead is now 10. Dallas yet to win at home in the 1993-94 campaign. Jackson tried to force that pass. Jimmy Jackson said his job, one of his jobs as the leader of the Dallas Mavericks, is to keep everybody motivated, everybody focused, and get everybody involved. But there was a case that maybe he should have just taken it himself, try to get too many people involved.
Beautiful give and go. Sean Rooks turns his back, and Cliff Robinson beats him with the quick cut. And when you play Cliff Robinson, you must keep your body on him. You cannot give him the freedom to roam and use his quickness. That's his greatest asset, that and his ability to jump. And he will go to open areas, and the Portland Trailblazers have run that play now for about 4 years, where Cliff Robinson gives it up and just cuts strong to the basket and gets it back. So you've got to bump him the minute he starts to make that cut.
Grant makes the first as Derek Harper comes back into the lineup. Harper with 7 points already in the ball game. Remember Harvey Grant, of course, his brother Horace playing for the Bulls, may not be playing there much longer. A lot of speculation about Horace Grant. Harvey Grant, of course, had a $17 million offer from the Knicks. Washington matched it. Now he's a member of Portland.
Little three-quarter trap here by Portland.
Mashburn showing some good dribbling skill.
Dallas should try to hold here for the last shot.
Instead, Mashburn takes it inside and draws the foul with 4.8 showing on the clock.
Foul by Harvey Grant is second. First in the last
2 on Grant as the Mavericks find themselves in a 12-point hole. Cliff Robinson, the big man here in the first quarter for the Portland Trailblazers. Well, now they're trying to decide who's going to stand where.
Well, it's a 2-shot foul. I think there was some indecision by the referees. Was he passing or was he shooting? It was a 2-shot foul, so there's still 4.8 seconds. The Blazers have plenty of time to rush the ball down the floor and get a shot.
Mashburn 73% on the year. You can see the numbers so far tonight. Rick Pitino came into Dallas last Thursday and gave some words of encouragement to his former star. Told him never to lose that desire to win was his big words of wisdom. Final second, Robinson looking for his 10th point, doesn't get it. We have played 12 minutes at Reunion Arena in Dallas. 8 points off the bench for Cliff Robinson, an alley-oop, a couple of dunks, and the Portland Trailblazers lead it by 11 heading into quarter number 2.
Reunion Arena. Let's throw a few halftime scores your way. The Atlanta Hawks trying to make it 14 straight wins, only scored 13 points in the second quarter. They trail Cleveland by 8 at the break. Houston trying to go 20-1, leading Miami 42-34 at the break. And also at the half, the Knicks up by 3 over the Nuggets. Highlights, bonus coverage coming your way at halftime. Right now, let's go back to Ron Thulin and Doug Collins.
Thank you, Ernie Johnson, who gives the best Christmas parties in the history of man. 25-14. Blazers lead it by 11 as we start quarter number 2. The 14 points by Dallas, their worst first quarter of the season.
Well, Darren Mourning starting the game now for Dallas, the backup center, and also Tim Legler, excellent shooter out of LaSalle, who's played very, very well as Cliff Robinson again lighting it up. And his speed and quickness just too much for the front line right now of the Dallas Mavericks. He can get any shot he wants to get.
Darren Morningstar started the first 15 games of the year for the Mavericks. Popeye's got to throw it out. 10 on the shot clock. Still a lot of time. Jones trying a little post-up move. Dishes back off to Mashburn. His first field goal in the ball game.
He's got a really sweet-looking shot. You can see he's got great range on the shot. I think he's going to be a very good three-point shooter.
And there we see Rod Strickland, and a great story about Rod Strickland this summer. He worked very, very hard. Even volunteered to go to the rookie league. Practiced about 2 to 3 hours a day. Jeff Petrie of the Portland Trailblazers said he's never seen anybody work any harder than Rod Strickland did this summer. Shot somewhere between 500 and 700 jump shots a day, and it's all paying off. He's on a career high pace as far as field goal percentage. Morningstar forces it up, has a chance to tip it. No leapability as Robinson went right over him. But we have a foul.
Foul by Cliff Robinson. Is second.
Cliff Robinson picks up the foul. That is his second personal foul. We've got a doubleheader coming your way Friday night here on TNT. It'll be the Knicks and the Bulls in Game 1. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with that. And Doug will join Gary Bender in Phoenix for the Magic and the Suns. That's all coming your way this Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on TNT. Mashburn goes down hard. And then he's tackled And we're going to have a loose ball foul. He was down on the ground, and Jerome Kersey should have been called for piling on.
Well, Jerome Kersey got away with a foul the first time, and then Jamal Mashburn's feet went out from underneath him. Then the second time when he dove on top of him was when the foul was called.
Doug, let me ask you this. Triple post offense, when you have absolutely no inside threat, can you run this type of offense?
Well, I think what happens is the ball has to go inside, and what your big people have to do, they have to create opportunities with their ability to pass the ball, and that's what Horace Grant and Cartwright and some of the big guys have done to the Chicago Bulls. And right now they're finding themselves what they can do within the framework of this offense. They just have to make sure they get good shots at the basket. But the one thing it does, Ron, it gives you an opportunity to get second shots because you're not having guys in isolation. You have guys around the basket. What it does do is it takes away from your isolation opportunities. You don't see a lot of one-on-one opportunities unless you clear an area. And we're seeing Cliff Robinson clear out an area for himself tonight. That's 12 points already in the game. He's only played about 7 minutes.
And Doug Smith will come into the lineup for the Mavericks. Harper finds an opening, goes with the left hand. It won't go, but he tracks down the loose rock. Good hustle by Derek Harper. This is Legler. Tim Legler, the fourth-year pro out of LaSalle, played just about everywhere. A couple of USBL teams, 6 NBA teams, 2 CBA teams. Shot clock at 7. Harper, nice spin move, no place to go. Legler with 1 on the shot clock, has to let it fly. Count it.
Quinn Buckner really likes Tim Legner. He likes his toughness. He likes his ability to shoot the ball. He says he's a tough defender, and the one thing he will give you every night is a good, hard night's work. He's going to play very tough basketball. You see Strickland shooting more jump shots than I've seen him shoot. Normally he wants to get to the basket.
Ashford leading the break.
We see that crossover. That's a pretty move.
Morningstar with the rebound and the putback. His first 2 of the ball game, and Rick Adelman does not like what he sees, despite the fact his team leads by 11, 9:04. Portland wants to talk about it. We'll step aside, come back in a minute. 9:04 with the Mavericks having the first clock beater of the day.
Well, it's going to come from Tim Legler, too. Derek Harper with his penetration. He skips the ball out to Legler, and you're going to hear him just barely get this off. You hear the shot clock and an important 2 points, and then the follow-up on the missed shot by Darren Morningstar pulls the Mavericks to within 11 of the Portland Trailblazers. Rick Adelman not happy that they've given up some second shots, and he called a quick timeout to talk about it.
Dallas 3 of 7 in this quarter. Portland now 4 of 5 in the quarter from the outside as Cliff Robinson continues to have his field day. 8 in the first, 6 here in the second, 14 already for the ball game. Only needs 7 more, and he has a season average. Harper trying to get around Strickland. Legler from the arc, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Well, you can see why they like him. That's a pretty jump shot.
He is 7 of 19 now, Doug, from the line.
Well, it's nice to get the penetration and you kick it out, and that's the one thing that the Bulls have always had, a Hodges or a Paxson or now a Steve Kerr or a B.J. Armstrong. If you're going to run this offense, you've got to have some guys make some jump shots.
Let's take a look at that jump shot. Tim Legler, he's 6'4", 210. He's 26 years old.
First team foul.
See a nice rotation, good follow through.
And there is Brad Davis. Boy, I'd say he has provided some exciting moments here as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, retired, now doing radio broadcasts from Monaca, Pennsylvania. Porter from the outside. Legler put a little body on him, and he takes it away from Jerome Kersey. Here come the Mavericks. They trail it by 10. Harper, nice pass to Morningstar. Great ball movement by the Mavericks. And then it stops. Smith, the fall away, count it.
He got away with the little jump shot as Buck Williams pushed him in the back. I thought that could have been a foul. That's a tough shot, Ron, when you're fading away and a guy gives you a little push because it's very difficult to gauge the distance then on the shot that you have to make.
9-2 run by the Mavericks.
Mavericks trying to pick up their defense now.
Smith guarding Porter. That's a mismatch as Legler is on Buck Williams. Terry takes it with 3 on the shot clock, doesn't get the shooter's roll. Buck Williams had it, kicks it out, right into Strickland. He loses it. 3-on-1. Harper to Mashburn. Oh, big-time slam for the rookie.
Well, that was a great play. Harper with the great steal, and then Mashburn with the monster dunk.
The lead is down to 6 as Buck Williams and Doug Smith now trading elbows in the right block, and there is the whistle.
You know what's happened with Portland the last few possessions, Ron, is they started playing a lot of one-on-one basketball. Porter had the mismatch with Doug Smith, and he took it, and he took a bad shot, and then he lost the ball on the steal, and you see Mashburn now with the slam dunk and the nice finish. But Portland's got to be careful not to get involved in playing a lot of one-on-one basketball because what they feel they get a mismatch. Cliff Robinson's got a mismatch. All they have to do is move the ball and get the ball inside, and he's had his way with whoever's played him tonight.
Well, Doug, that was a double foul on both Buck Williams and Doug Smith. That is a whistle. It'll be a foul, I think, on Derek Harper for grabbing the arm.
Foul by Derek Harper.
That is indeed the call. That is Harper's first personal.
His first. The second team
foul. We look at the scores. Of course, Ernie Johnson, the Reebok halftime report coming your way in just a little bit. He'll have scores and highlights. Keep you posted on that Atlanta-Cleveland game. Whistle and a foul. Offensive foul.
Going to be on Buck Williams, I think.
Buck Williams is third.
That is his third personal foul on Buck Williams. And Buck usually doesn't get involved in a lot of the game playing, but right now he's caught up in it, and there is a technical foul called on the Portland Trailblazers. And that is on Buck Williams. Buck is one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. Speaks at Billy Graham crusades. Whatever he said, I know it couldn't have been bad. It's like Mark Price getting a technical, isn't it? Legler will shoot it. Legler will make it. Legler coming off a 15-point performance against the Phoenix Suns the other night. That was his season high. So far tonight, he has 6.
Well, since Legler's come into the game, their offense has picked up. He has 6 quick points. It's a 12-2 run. He's got a 3, a buzzer-beating 2, the technical free throw. So now you've got a good shooting team on the floor. Jackson, Harper, and Legler. Let's see if they can free him up for another jump shot.
Derek Harper looking very lively tonight. Smith tries an acrobatic reverse. It'll be a loose ball foul on the Mavericks.
See, Ron, you've got a challenge on that shot right there. Doug Smith tried to make a degree of difficulty shot. Make someone foul you. The guy is in the air. Take the ball to his body and create some contact. You don't go away from contact when you're around the basket. You're power forward.
No style points. Strickland looked at it, takes it inside. Scoop move, it goes.
Oh, that was pretty. Rod Strickland, I think, is as good in the game as there is as a point guard of getting in the lane and finishing. And he looks like he does it so easily. Watch this on the replay. Just sort of glides, corkscrews his body, right hand, wrong foot, off the glass, and gets fouled. This is a spectacular play. He makes it look so easy.
Foul was on Smith. That is his third personal. Rodney can't get the free throw to go down. Still with 6 points already this evening. Jackson just lost the handle. Here comes Kersey, sort of the forgotten man of the Blazers, and he dribbles it off the back of his foot. Harper has Smith underneath. There he is, and the reverse again. This time it goes.
See Jerome Kersey trying to overhandle the ball. You know what happens? You come in off the bench, you're used to scoring some points, and you try to create opportunities for yourself off the dribble, and that's really not Kersey's game. He's a lane runner, a guy that fills lanes and finishes.
Grant. That is about his range. Morningstar had it. Kersey touched it last. Ball belongs to the Mavericks as Popeye Jones will check into the lineup. Smith sits down. From behind the basket, here's Derek Harper.
See if they can free Legler up for another jump shot. You've got Harper penetrating, maybe a Jimmy Jackson. See if they can kick the ball. There you go, right there.
Morningstar got away with a push. Harper, little pick and roll. Popeye Jones didn't roll.
He rolled his hand.
He rolled it, yeah, really. Morningstar, it wasn't pretty, and it doesn't go. Quinn Buckner had the greatest description of Darren Morningstar today. Says, unorthodox. That may be an understatement. It'll be a foul, and that'll be his foul called on Morningstar. That is his second.
He will give up his body.
It's an offensive foul.
Just took an offensive foul on Kersey. So Jerome now with 2 turnovers. I think Jerome is going to sit down now. He doesn't look to be too happy after 2 quick turnovers. And
so now Clyde Drexler drops down to the small forward position, which is where you'd like to see him, Doug.
I think at this stage of his career, I think that's where it is best. I really do. I think it takes the wear and tear off of him, and I think he can do some operating down there against maybe some bigger players and use his speed and quickness a little bit more.
Well, at the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug Collins and I will be selecting our Budweiser Player of the Game. 4:50 left in the first. Blazers lead it by 5. The Mavericks have Jimmy Jackson, Popeye Jones, Harper, Morningstar,
New
Tim
24
Legler.
on the kick.
New 24 after the kick. Portland has Grant, Porter, Drexler, Robinson, and Strickland.
Kick ball, so will be sideline out of bounds now with the new 24-second shot clock.
Harper from the arc. Got the back of the iron. Popeye Jones traced it down. Good hustle by Jones. Legler back to Harper. They'll set it up again.
They penetrate and kick out to Legler for the shot. Porter will help out.
Nice pass. Harper has it slapped away by Cliff Robinson, and then Harvey Grant slapped at Darren Morningstar.
Well, you know what? They caught the second one because Morningstar grabbed Harvey Grant's jersey, and then he took and slapped Morningstar's hand away, and Billy Oakes saw
he's going to get a
Harvey
technical
Grant.
here
Now
in a second.
watch what happens. Watch Morningstar. He gets his shot blocked, and watch him grab right here. He grabs the jersey, and then you see Harvey Grant slap it away, and he was caught with a second one.
We'll be back to sort it out.
Presents magical memories. Do you remember when?
Blazers by 5, 4:26 left in the half as Portland now facing a foul trouble situation with both Harvey Grant with 3 and also Buck Williams with 3 personal fouls. Jerome Kersey already with 2. Dallas has it. They've been on quite a run. 14-4. That time Popeye rolled the baseline. Jay won't find the net. Porter comes up with a loose ball. Popeye Jones, the rookie out of Murray State, all over the court tonight. Now he's chasing Kersey. Jackson gets posted by Drexler. Drexler can't complete it. Jackson with the rebound. Boy, Harper's legs look fresh for 32 years old.
Yes, they do. He looks very quick with the ball.
Jackson gets a step on Drexler off the back of the iron. Porter over Legler, and the basket won't go. Tim just had to grab him.
Foul by Tim
Mark
Legler.
Bryan will come back in the lineup for the Blazers. Grant will sit down.
Mark Bryant back in the game.
So now Portland really playing without a true center unless you want to move Cliff Robinson over to the 5. And I mean, that's the way you really think that may be a good position for him in the long run.
Well, if you don't have to play against the big power players, the Elijah, the Ewing, the David Robinson, that kind of center where you're going to get somebody posting up all the time. Cliff Robinson actually can play most of the other centers in the league. And you can go with the Buck Williams, a Cliff Robinson on your front line with a Drexler and a Strickland and a Porter in your back court, or a Harvey Grant as a small forward, and you have a couple shooters out on the floor. And I think the one thing that right now that Portland's struggling with is they're just not shooting the ball well from outside, and they're not getting many easy baskets, the kind you see them get storming to the basket off turnovers and off defensive rebounds.
Porter makes them both. He's now made 36 out of his last 37 from the stripe. Blazers up their lead to 7, nearing the 3-minute mark of the first half. Mashburn working on Porter. He went left. Nobody guarded him, and Mashburn with his 3rd field goal of the ball game.
And that was nice. They got the switch. Porter switched to him, and he just overpowered him. The problem is now no one gets back to the other end because Mashburn fell down, and no one covered for him. He's now playing Drexler. Here's a post-up situation. Mashburn and Porter see if someone gives help.
Bryant does. Mashburn tried to go baseline and cut it off. Has to be somebody open. Morningstar is. Popeye Jones pulled the string on it as he let it go. Morningstar had the steal, can't come up with it. Morningstar originally drafted by the Boston Celtics from the outside. Cliffy can't get it. Jackson, nice play, tipping it to Morningstar.
Yes, it was. Very nice.
Jackson playing with a couple of sprained fingers on the left hand.
See, what Mashburn's seeing now is double teams. He didn't see many double teams early. Now, every time he gets posted, here comes the double team. So they're not going to give him any opportunities to post up.
Morningstar shot won't go. He's got to go strong to the hole. You can't baby that shot up when you're 5 feet away. Drexler from the arc.
See, that's the shot Clyde's really struggling with, that three-point shot.
Morningstar throwing his body around, and he's going to be whistled for the foul. That'll be Morningstar's second.
His second, the 15th.
See, Morningstar does not have any lift around the basket. And, Ron, what happens when you don't have that? You shoot everything quickly because you don't want to get it blocked. And so you're not used to taking anything to the basket with power, so everything is a quick shot for him. So even when he's open, he releases it rather quickly.
Robinson at the line. Last 4 games, just 37% from the floor.
Here's the guy that I think that Dallas has got to find again, Sean Rooks. For whatever reason, he's missed time with a stress fracture, and he was out early for 6-7 weeks, and he's now trying to round back into shape. They need him, though. He's got talent. He can score. He can do a lot of things. He's got size. They really need him to produce to give them an inside player, at least a threat.
As you mentioned, Doug, he started the year on the injured list with a stress fracture, came back in late November. Last year was their starting center on opening night and went on to average 13.5 points, 7.5 rebounds. Drexler picks up his second. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios, have bonus coverage, highlight scores, including Atlanta, Cleveland, Houston, Miami, and Denver, New Jersey. That'll be coming up with EJ in just a couple of minutes. Harper can't draw iron. Popeye Jones can't put it back in. But he hustles over, almost steals it. Portland, however, has the basketball with 1:48 left in the half.
You know, you can't fault the effort, Ron. You really can't. These guys are working so hard around the basket, and they just can't get any results. I mean, Popeye's had 2 or 3 point blank shots. Morning Star, they just can't finish them.
Terry Porter, the running right-hander, finds the hole. Only Porter's second field goal of the ball game. He has 6.
Ron, you talked about Sean Rooks' number a while ago. On this season, he's averaging 7 points and less than 4 rebounds. You can see the difference from one year to the next that he's been because of his injury.
A lot more muscular than he was last year. Nice steal by Clyde Drexler. Strickler working on Harper.
There's their best three-point shooter, and Terry's woefully short on that one.
Almost a nice save by Mark Bryant, but the ball belonged to the Dallas Mavericks with 1:06 left in the half, and they trail it by 10. And we have a timeout. 20-second timeout by the Dallas Mavericks, trailing it by 10. And the Mavericks, who are 26th in scoring, 26th in field goal percentage, hanging around a little bit here on the Blazers right now, as they made that quick 14-2 run, and Portland, though, has withstood that challenge.
Ron, you look at the numbers, though. Defensively, Portland only has 42 points. So, I mean, they've done a good job defensively. I think we're going to look at the offensive rebounds. You're going to see that they've stayed in the ball game there. They have just not been able to shoot the ball. For the game, they've got to be shooting in the low 30%.
Maybe this is a lucky night for the Dallas Mavericks, because back in 1988, Miami broke a 17-game losing skid, picking up their first NBA win. Started the year 0-17. Mavericks now have lost 15 straight as an illegal defense is called. 10 straight here at home.
Cliff Robinson, first of the game for the Blazers.
First illegal defense. Mavericks not shooting the ball well tonight at all.
27%. That's even worse than I thought. Portland is only at 41.
Portland on the year shooting just 46%. Dallas 43%.
There's a double team once again. This is where you have to make jump shots. That's great. You get the double team, you cut a guy through, you take the defense with you, you put a guy in behind him, Jimmy Jackson, you find him and he spots up and makes the jump shot. That's what you have to do to beat the double team.
And that's about Jimmy Jackson's range, about 18 feet. Robinson moving left. Rooks got a piece of it. For Sean Rooks, only his 10th block of the year.
You get a score here, Ron. It's a 6-point ball game, and Portland has really outplayed them.
3-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Mashburn has it slapped by Drexler. There's the double team again. Has to do something with it. To Jones. Nice look inside to Rooks with the big-time slam.
Portland wants one shot.
Strickland inside Drexler, the double pump. He's fouled with 1.5 on the clock. That'll be Rooks' second personal foul. Quinn Buckner on the side, trying to get his team to continue this effort. They have had the effort, Doug, as you mentioned in this half. Drexler will go to the line. So far this evening, 7 points, 1 of 2 from the stripe. The numbers on Sean Rooks.
We start sensing the frustration also, too. This is the only team in the NBA, speaking of the Mavericks, that has not won at home yet this year, and it just continues to build. Lost a very, very difficult game in here. Kenny Norman busted a 3 at the buzzer to beat them. Lost a 1-point game in here to the Utah Jazz. They've had some very close decisions. Well, they very well could have had 4 or 5 wins at this point.
Jackson lets it fly. It wouldn't have counted anyway. The Mavericks got within 6, but it was a big half for Cliff Robinson. How about 15 points on 7-11 shooting? And that sends the Blazers to the locker room with an 8-point lead, 44-36. Reebok halftime report with Ernie Johnson in Atlanta is next.
Here's the Chevy S Series.
Dallas, where the Blazers led by 11 at the end of one. They lead by 8 as we head to the third quarter of play, along with Doug Collins. I'm Ron Thulin, and it is not a question of effort for the Dallas Mavericks. It is a case of their shots just not falling.
Well, when you look at the numbers, they shot 29%. They got 51 shots at the basket, Ron, because they got 12 offensive rebounds. Portland shot 40%. Cliff Robinson, 7 for 11, had 15 points off the bench. I really don't consider him a bench player. To me, he's a starter. He just waits for about 3 minutes to come into the game.
Just to loosen up. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half, and it backs up what we just talked about. Neither team shooting extremely well. Second chance points. Now the Mavericks hanging right in there with 12 offensive rebounds to just 9 for the Portland Trailblazers.
Well, you see the 11 points off the offensive rebounds. They only scored 36 points, so over 30% of their offense comes off the offensive rebounding. So one of the things their offense does, it gives them second shot opportunities, but they just have to start shooting the ball better. We see Cliff Robinson, who had a big first half. We talked about 7 for 11, and they just couldn't handle his speed or quickness inside. You see the spinning jump shots. Again, 7 for 11, 15 points for Cliff Robinson. And here's Derek Harper with a beautiful pass to Jamal Mashburn for 2 of his 9 points. He shot 3 for 9 after missing his first four shots. So he did warm up as we went along. And look at Dallas's shooting here. Ron Mashburn, 3 for 9. Harper, 3 for 9. And Jackson, 2 for 6. And Jones and Morningstar combined 2 for 13 out of the inside. So they are working hard and getting some easy shots. They just haven't been able to finish them. And as we talked about before, maybe they need to sign that guy up who just shot the three-point shot out here. Get it.
I hope he won pizza for everybody.
So, but if they'll start making their shots, they have a chance to win this game. Their initial defense was very good. They only gave up 44 points.
Well, as the Portland Trailblazers said, they really wanted to come out and try to athletically challenge the Dallas Mavericks. On the other hand, the Mavericks say they wanted to hang with Portland on the boards. And both teams, well, Portland's not really achieved their goal. Dallas has so far. Scoring leaders, Cliffy Robinson with 15, Drexler 9, Porter and Strickland both with 6 apiece. For the Dallas Mavericks leading the way, it's Jamal Mashburn with 9 points. Derek Harper had 7, all coming in the first quarter. Tim Legler with 6, all coming in the second quarter.
When you look at Portland also, too, they had 9 assists in the first half, and what stands out to me about that is they're the #1 team in assists in the NBA, number 2, averaging almost 26 assists a ball game. So it said to me they were playing a lot of one-on-one basketball there in that first half.
We'll keep an eye on that. Dallas showing a little pressure to start the game off. Dallas also showing a little foul to start the game off.
See, the frustrating part as a coach is, you go over that play when you scout the team and you say, look, when they give the ball inside to Drexler and they cut, they love to get it back. You can't turn your head. You got to bump the man on the cut. Robinson got a dunk early in the game. There, a quick foul on Popeye Jones.
Well, the Portland bench this season outscoring opponents 48-28. There it is again. This time Dallas comes up with it.
I can't believe Drexler tried to force that pass. That's the third time they've run that play, twice in succession.
Ryland getting the start at center. Mashburn from about 21 goes 20.5. Nice outlet pass, Drexler, but Grant has to wait for the rest of the black jerseys to come down. Order to Grant, who pops out and Greg Dreiling just took an elbow right in his head. I mean, that was right in front of us. Now, Greg is a big guy at 7'1", 250, but boy, that is a shot and a half. Watch this. Boom!
Well, he's lucky he didn't cut him.
Oh, yeah. Boy, if Riddick Bowe had hit Evander Holyfield that hard, he may have won.
Well, normally when you get hit like that in that part of your eye or your face just splits. I don't know how he kept from...
Boy, he didn't need a cut man in his corner, but the bad news for Portland is Grant picks up his 4th personal foul. Mashburn going baseline, the high arcer. That is a pretty shot.
Boy, he beat him with quickness, too. Jamal Mashburn showing some quickness off the dribble. One quick dribble right to the baseline, and Percy will now come right into the ballgame, I'm sure, to replace Harvey Grant, who has picked up his 4th foul. It's been a very frustrating night for Harvey Grant. He's not been able to get involved in the offense.
Here's Jamal Mashburn's quickness.
And this is normal speed here. Watch this quick step. Boom, just beats him and takes it right to the basket. Tough shot, too. It looked like he was almost behind the backboard.
As you mentioned, Kersey in, Grant out. Now Popeye Jones trying to get position on Williams as Mark Bryant can't get it to go. Drexler to Kersey to follow. Bryant there to complete the third time. Bryant's first 2 of the ball game. Quickly down court, Harper lost the handle, but the Mavericks have possession with 19 on the shot clock. Over the last 4 seasons, only Chicago has a better record, believe it or not, than the Portland Trailblazers by 10 games. Blazers trying to stay on top and be the elite in the NBA. Dreiling inside is fouled. Well, at the beginning of the year, the Portland Trailblazers, Rick Adelman, talked about what his team needs to do in order to be successful, and here is what they said, and here is where they are.
Well, you'd like to limit your opponents to 45% field goal shooting. Their opponents are actually at 48. They'd like to shoot 48. They're at 46. They'd like to lead the NBA in rebounding, which they are. They'd like to lead in point differential. They're 9th. But interestingly enough, Portland is 0-5 this year against teams above 500. So, to me, that's a very telling statistic about this Blazer team. Normally, they are very successful against the good teams, and this year they have not been able to beat them.
Dreiling with his first 2 points. He's at 63% from the line, and the Mavericks continue their pressure. Porter almost had it taken away by Harper. Terry inside to Williams, has it knocked away by Dreiling. Mashburn has Harper on the right-hand side. He'll take it down himself. Porter reaching behind the double team. Jackson from 18 doesn't get it. Nice job, Greg Dreiling. Good look inside. Dreiling is fouled again, but Jamal Mashburn, the nice look inside to get his teammates involved.
I think that when you saw that play through, Quinn Buckner was the first man off the bench, acknowledging that Mashburn made the extra pass. He had a foul line jump shot, and he gave it up to a guy for a layup. And that's the one thing that Quinn Buckner has been trying to preach to this team, is that if you'll do that, your opportunities will come in the flow of the game, because with 36 minutes on the floor, you're going to get opportunities to shoot the basketball.
See, Quinn Buckner played defensive back for Indiana 2 years, believe it or not. Dreiling can't get the second one. His assistants, Randy Whitman, former Atlanta Hawk, Indiana Pacer, Tom Newell, and Greg Ballard also had seen some NBA action. Williams, Popeye Jones bellying up to him. Buck with the right-handed hook, going to go. Dreiling tips it over to Popeye Jones. Now Jackson on top of Drexler. Shot clock at 11. Now Harper working on Porter, gets the step, kicks it back out. Drexler tips it to Porter. Jackson tries to run it down. Last touch by Portland.
Only 2 seconds on the shot clock, no change of possession, so Jimmy Jackson will have to throw this ball past half court, maybe get one dribble in, and then have to get the shot at the basket.
Dreiling throws up the prayer, and it will not be answered. That is a violation. That is where a young team learns. That is something that you learn, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Quinn Buckner not happy with that effort. He should be able to get some type of shot, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, well, they threw it to the wrong guy. You know, Dreiling, once he caught it, those big guys, when they make a catch there, make them catch and try to take that shot. It's not really going to happen.
Porter off the hands of Kersey. He went up for the shot, and Mashburn put a hand up. 13 turnovers now for Portland. Blazers only by 5. Mashburn sizing up the defense. Stops. Pops. Bingo.
Boy, you start to see him getting into a rhythm right now. He missed his first 4 shots. He's now starting to heat up from the outside. He looks like he's playing in a little bit better rhythm right now. He's relaxed a little bit more.
The closest Dallas advances the first quarter. Dreiling commits the foul. Drexler makes the basket.
Boy, that was a difficult shot, too. Dreiling came over and was all over Drexler, and it didn't even look like he could see the basket.
Here's Drexler on Jackson, the matchup we talked about.
Going right into the post. Drexler at 6'7" with the good size. He posts up, and Jimmy Jackson goes for the steal. There's Dreiling with the help, the bump, and that's just one of those shots that a great player will make during the course of a game, and many of them during the course of a season.
Well, Doug, something telling. When Cliff Robinson just came in, Jerome Kersey, it's not a knock on him, but just hung his head and was very upset that Rick Adelman took him out of the basketball game.
Well, as I said before, this is a Portland team that when I watched them warm up, Harper for the 3,
his second,
is not it's not clicking at this point in time. You know, they just have not found where they want to be. Kersey's had some injuries, and they're working in new people, and it's been a real struggle for Portland. They're used to getting off the flying starts and being the class of the Pacific Division. They're finding out who they are right now.
Bryant, offensive foul on Mark Bryant. He hooked Greg Dreiling. That is Bryant's his first personal foul. And Rick Adelman finds himself only up by 3.
And the crowd is getting into the ball game right now. They sense that the Mavericks can win this game.
And I think maybe the young Mavericks sense they can win this game. They have absolutely nothing to lose, obviously.
There's a post-up. Jimmy Jackson against Drexler. You find the cutter.
And he doesn't get it. Oh, my. Dreiling thought he had it.
Got to dunk that one.
You got it. You have to jam it. When you're 7'1", you get that close, you got to put it down. Drexler forces the jump shot, but he knocks it home.
Everything right but the results for Dallas. They got the double team, they got the cutter, made the nice pass, didn't get the finish, and then Drexler with that line drive jump shot.
Strickland up off Portland's bench. Mashburn rattles it home over Cliff Robinson. Mashburn with 6 in the quarter, 15 for the ball game as Doug Smith will join Rod Strickland at the scorer's table to come in for Dallas. Robinson over Dreiling, who got a hand up. Good defense by big Greg Dreiling. 7 years with the Indiana Pacers. Jackson to Mashburn in traffic. Won't go. Jackson tried to tip it. Only 2 white shirts underneath the board. Drexler inside. Shot won't go. Portland has it as Buck Williams went hard. The 3 by Porter, and he buries it.
Oh, what a big play. The loose ball, and Porter picks it up and goes back to the 3-point line. That's a critical shot for the Blazers. That puts them back up 6. But Mashburn made a difficult shot out of the last play. He tried to make a tough shot, and you got it going. Just continue to look for the good shots.
Porter and Portland's first 3. Porter hitting 44% from the arc this year. Jackson works his way around Drexler. Jimmy Jackson only his 6th point of the ball game. His first 2 of the second half.
You know, I don't think Jimmy Jackson's ever going to be a big scorer. I think he's going to be a 17, 18 point per game, 7 rebounds, 6, 7 assists.
Drexler from the outside. Jackson released as soon as Clyde took the shot, allowing Clyde to get the rebound. Now Jackson's trying to guard Buck Williams. Dreiling.
So much one-on-one they're playing though right now. It's like now it's Cliff Robinson's turn. There's good news. They get an opportunity now. Would Drexler have dunked that ball a couple years ago?
Oh, knocked it home. Knocked it home big time. Well, Greg Dreiling picks up his 4th. We have a timeout. The Mavericks trail it by 4. 5:43 left in the 3rd. By 4, 5:43. You know, we've talked about Clyde Drexler not getting the elevation as in years past. Here's an example.
Well, I just think on this finish, you know, a couple years ago, you would have seen him just jam that ball, and you could see he really tried to make the finish, and I think that's been the frustrating thing for Clyde Drexler, that he never really has struggled making those kind of plays in his career. And Ron, when you start doing it, it changes your confidence level. Then that jump shot becomes tougher because you don't get the easy baskets, and then it makes it much more difficult for you to get those scores, and you get your 21 points, but it's you know, you start shooting 41, 42%. I think Clyde is adjusting now to being a little bit different player. Not that he's not a great player. He can still be a very great player, but I think that he's going to be maybe not as spectacular as he once was.
And here's tonight's GMC Truck scoreboard. Keep you posted on that Cleveland-Atlanta game. The Cavs lead it by 2 right now. The Lakers on top of Detroit. Indiana by 20 over Washington in the 4th. We'll pass on the scores as we get them. Our score, Blazers lead it by 6, 56-50. 5.5 left to be played in this 3rd quarter.
Back to the post-up. Jimmy Jackson, Drexler. There's the cut. The extra pass. You got to make that jump shot right there.
Brooks does, and Jackson, once again, I've talked about it, but there's only 1 white jersey after the shot around the hoop.
And that's one of the things that was working well for him in the first half. It was really Morningstar and Popeye Jones that were hitting the boards.
Cliffy loses the handle. Harper, nice pass to Smith. The reverse. He didn't want to dunk it, I guess. My goodness, his 2nd one. He's tried to acrobat it up. And that is a traveling call on Jimmy Jackson.
You know, I agree. You know, Doug Smith is taking the ball away from contact, and you got to finish the play. You're a power forward. You got to take the ball, get contact, get to the free throw line, and he's avoiding that right now. That's twice now that he's blown opportunities around the basket, and there's that give and go that the Blazers are killing the Mavericks with the pass to the wing, the cut, and then the pass right over the defender's head.
When you see Rod Strickland at 6'3", not afraid to take the contact, you wonder why Doug Smith at 6'10", 220 won't take the contact.
As Mashburn's posting, he's going to create an opportunity for somebody to shoot a jump shot.
Harper for three, and he buries it. His third tray of the ball game. 13 points for Derek Harper.
I agree with you. The liveliness of Derek Harper. His statistics were all down, and I expected his legs to not be as fresh. He's running the floor beautifully.
And Jimmy Jackson goes hard as Clyde Drexler grabs his left eye. Jackson bounces right back up. Drexler picks up the foul. His third.
The 13th foul.
Looking at it again.
Nice give and go here. Jackson to Harper, back to Jackson. He gets his legs taken out from underneath him. He's fortunate he does not get hurt. Drexler got slapped in the face, and Jimmy Jackson to the line to try to pull them to within 3.
Last 4 games, Jackson has shot 53% from the floor and averaged just a shade under 20.
Let's get a look at his release here if we can. It's a sort of a snap on his shot. He doesn't have the long follow-through, and I think to become a great shooter, he's going to have to really work on his release. Notice how he shoots it and sort of flicks his wrist back. Normally, great shooters have that elongated stroke where they just follow through to the basket. I think he's going to have to work on that in the offseason.
The lead is down to 3. Great look, Drexler, and Doug Smith comes over hard on Mark Bryant to commit the foul, but that is one of those cases you call it a good foul, even though it's his 4th.
Absolutely a good foul. You take away a dunk. The Mavericks are getting a little bit of some momentum here, getting back into the game. It's a 3-point game. You do not want to give Bryant the dunk. You want to make him make 2 free throws. Bryant's only a 69% free throw shooter, so you make him earn them. So it's a good foul. You pick up a point already.
Right. And when you have a 3-point lead, every point counts. So when you're looking for your second win of the year, every point counts. They sound like 15,000. Kind of exciting for this young team to be in a game like this. The question is, can they maintain it for the remaining 3:54 of this quarter and 12 of the next?
Well, it's a 48-minute game, and one thing they've struggled with is finishing games. They've lost some real close games.
This is a nice matchup. Mashburn on Robinson. You said Robinson's been having trouble defensively. Harper almost picked the pocket of Strickland.
I really like Mashburn. He can create any kind of shot either for himself or his teammates. He's going to be a big-time player.
Now Smith on Robinson. Drexler for 3. That is way short. Rooks had it, lost it. Portland has it with a fresh 24.
See, Ron, when you play with the Jamal Mashburn, you've got to make a commitment now if you're the other coach to double team him. So you're playing in many instances, 4-on-3 defensively after you make that double team. And I really like the fact that he can pass the ball, he can shoot it with range, and when he gets some other better shooters around him on the floor and some big guys who can finish, his assists are going to really skyrocket.
Jimmy Jackson playing a little defense. Harper left alone, doesn't get it. Smith had a shot at it, couldn't come up with it. Here comes Strickland with Drexler on the left, Williams on the right. Nice look inside. Clyde Drexler now just 6 of 14 from the floor. 0 for 3 from the outside from the arc.
I really like the way Rod Strickland's playing. I think he's such an underrated player. He went through a lot of personal problems early in his career, and he has been sensational, I think, in his year and a half with the Blazers.
Double dribble on Sean Rooks, and we have a timeout. So the Mavericks pull within 3, make a couple of mistakes, find themselves down by 5. Portland has the ball. 2:48 left. Let's see how Clyde Drexler got so wide open.
Well, you're going to see Doug Smith is going to dive for a steal, and when he does, he takes himself out of the play right there. And we stop, but we see that Doug Smith is now taking himself out of the play, and you have 2 Dallas defenders now playing 3 here on the weak side. So Derek Harper sort of sneaks out, and he lets Drexler peel in right behind him and get the easy basket. And that's why you cannot lunge in the open court. You've got to play good, solid defense. You do not want to give up any easy baskets. You've been within 3-4 times in this quarter, and now it's a 5-point lead once again, so you're continuing to play uphill all the time.
Now Dallas looking for a stop. Lucius Harris is checked into the lineup. Traveling called on Clyde Drexler. Harris wearing jersey number 30, the 6'5 rookie out of Long Beach State, was a second-round pick. last year, 28th overall. Marty Blake likens him, the scouting guru of the NBA, likens him to a Gerald Wilkins type of player. There's Harris. Sweet Lou, they call him. Dribbling in traffic, Smith. Somebody's got to be open. Rooks inside. No foul, no whistle. Rooks was hammered by 3 black jerseys.
He'll get a technical foul also after his play stops, probably.
And then Strickland dragged his pivot foot. So Dallas can't buy a break. Strickland hopped about 3 steps on that.
2 minutes.
Robinson, the turnaround J won't go. Last touch by Buck Williams. Dallas has the ball.
Well, Cliff Robinson, after a big first half, 7 for 11, they've done a much better job on him now as he's coming to the game. He does not have a field goal in the half, so they have tightened down the defense on Cliff Robinson.
He's 0 for 3. Brooks loses the handle. There's a foul on Robinson. That is his third.
His third.
Well, we've got some more NBA action coming your way on Friday night here on TNT. We've got a doubleheader. The Knicks and the Bulls will kick things off at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then Doug, unfortunately, has to go to Phoenix tomorrow and spend a couple of days in the sun getting ready for the Orlando Magic and Phoenix. You better be good Friday night, Doug.
I thought Don McGuire was going to send me back to Chicago, but he sent me to Phoenix. Oh, gee.
Well, Harris gets the basket underneath, and that was a much-needed basket by the Dallas Mavericks. That's Harris's first 2. Pulls them back within 3. Strickland, acrobatic move. Rooks with the rebound. Takes one dribble, gets it up to Harper. Harper in traffic to Smith. The former Missouri Tiger lost the handle, and he made it! Oh, my goodness. The Mavericks are within 1 with 1:05, and Derek Harper is yelling at the crowd. Ten on the shot clock. Robinson forces it up. Rooks with the rebound. The Mavericks can take the lead.
Doug Smith get a layup if they give it up.
Harris, does he get it? No. Good hustle, Mashburn. Smith almost hurt the backboard with that. Strickland the pull-up. No! There's a lid on the basket at Reunion. Dallas can get a 2 for 1. Harper! They are standing at Reunion. The Mavericks lead it by 2. My goodness.
That's the 4th 3 in the game for Derek Harper.
Oh, I know there's a couple of general managers picking up the phone right now trying to get a hold of Norm Sanju and Rick Sun. 6-second difference shot in game clock. Strickland in a crowd. 1 on the shot clock. Percy slashes his way in.
Still got plenty of time, almost 6 seconds.
Harper weaving through traffic, puts it up, whistle, foul. They call it for traveling. With 1.5 left, Derek just smiles and shakes his head. So Quinn Buckner not benefiting from any calls here in the third. Drexler has it knocked away with .4. And now Rick Adelman wants some time on the clock. A whole second went off, and there is a technical foul called on Portland, and that'll be on Clyde Drexler. So Buck Williams picked one up at 6:44 of the first, and now Drexler picks one up at .4 of the third.
Things are getting crazy.
You're over here just kind of...
I'm trying to absorb all this is happening.
This is the most excitement they've had in a long time, and Harper cannot give the Mavericks the lead. .4, so all really Portland can do is toss it up. They are 10-0 when they lead after 3 quarters, but right now we're knotted at 62 in a low-scoring game. There's the lob. Brooks comes down with it, and the Mavericks will head to the final 12 minutes, tied at 62. They are 0-10 at home this year, but Derek Harper, 3 3-pointers in the third, have helped tie things up. Fourth quarter to come, tied at 62. Don't go away. The fourth and final stanza of play from Reunion. A couple of big baskets for Dallas in the third. First, Smith. It was touched. That's why it was no traveling call. He never came down. The bench loves it. Then how about Derek Harper with his 4th 3?
Well, he hits a nice three. The thing I can't figure out, Ron, is why he shot the technical. He's a 63% shooter. On the floor was Doug Smith with 90 and Mashburn at 73. I guess the first guy there gets to shoot it. Either that or the fact that Derek Harper was hot, he felt like he should shoot the free throw, but it's curious that he would go there. Now, Fat Lever is coming into the game. I saw the coaches talking in between quarters, and I kept reading one of their lips saying, he's fresh, he's fresh. I guess they mean Fat Lever, the fact that he's not played tonight, so he's in the game for the first time.
Well, we'd like to also keep you updated on Atlanta, Cleveland. So what we're going to do, the magic of television, let's split the screen, guys, and see if we can take a look at both games. This is a sportsman's dream, having two games at once. We'll try to keep you posted on both games. Lucius Harris can't get it to go. Doug Smith has it. Atlanta leads at 91-88, we were told, just about a minute. The basket goes by Rooks. Minute 9 to go, and there you see the Atlanta-Cleveland game, lower right-hand portion of your screen. And our game on the top. We'll keep you posted on both games. That foul, by the way, was on Kersey. That is his third. 91-88, Atlanta leads it. Stacey Augmon at the line to shoot a couple of free throws as the Mavericks or the Hawks go for their 14th straight win. The Mavericks trying to avoid their 16th straight loss. Rooks 69% from the line on the year. Completes the three-point play. The Mavericks have a three-point advantage. Stacey Augmon, as you saw, 22 points for the Hawks.
I guess it's safe to say this is the biggest lead of the night for the Mavericks.
93-88, 109 left in the Atlanta-Cleveland game. Robinson, the follow-away, that's a difficult shot. Did not score in the third. Fat Lever can't track it down. Cleveland with the basketball in the lower right-hand portion, nearing the 50-second mark. Jump shot on the way, nailed it with 49.9. And Cleveland and Mike Fratello's troops putting the pressure on as the Cavs only down by 3. Whistle and a foul in that game as Rooks comes up with a steal in Dallas.
Ron, you might have a job here doing two games at once. I don't know.
It's having kids. If you have children, you can do this. Rooks inside, lost the handle. Portland has the basketball. Strickland. Whistle and a foul on the dribble, says Billy Oakes. There you see Terrell Brandon with the jump shot in Cleveland's game as Jimmy Jackson picks up the foul in our game, his second.
Popeye Jones back of the game.
Willis, another one for Atlanta.
It gives Atlanta, I think, a 4-point lead, 94-90. Dallas leading here, 65-62.
Big night again for Kevin. 21 points, 11 rebounds. Porter's going to launch a 2. Comes up short. Rooks with the rebound. The long outlet to Lucius Harris, who beat Porter. And it goes. 95-90. The Hawks leading the Cavaliers. We'll keep you posted on that as they have a timeout. You saw our score. The Mavericks by 5. They are 1-18 on the year. Robinson, the scoring drought continues for Cliffy.
Still does not have a field goal in the second half. Again, 7 for 11 in the first half. He's got to be about 0 for 6 or 7 in this one.
Fat Lever. They are starting to feel it in Reunion.
I guess that's why they wanted Fat in the game with fresh legs. Hit the open jump shot.
Even bad fresh legs, but Rick Adelman wants to talk about it. Listen to the crowd at Reunion.
A chance to rest the pipes for just a second. More bonus coverage from Richfield Coliseum. The Cavaliers were down by 5 to the Hawks. Let's go to Richfield Coliseum. Tim Brando and Mike Glenn, the Stinger, with the call.
Lenny Wilkens is such a... We welcome those of you joining us on TNT. Tim Brando along with Mike Glenn. 38 seconds remaining. Atlanta coming from down 12 in a 13-point second quarter to take the lead in the third. A couple of big baskets by Kevin Willis aiding their cause. And Mike Fratello at 7-11, coaching against his old team for the first time since his 3-year sabbatical with NBC as the czar of the telestrator. Over 300 wins for him, 5 playoff appearances. So similar to what Lenny Wilkens was able to accomplish at Cleveland. Look at that. Only 1 loss, the difference in their playoff, and that was really the only fly in the ointment for both of them. But you can make a great case particularly given the performance tonight of this Cleveland team, Mike, without Mark Price, without Larry Nance, that they have toughened up. They've had to play very difficult defensive basketball in order to stay around in this one.
They have defense has been superb, Tim. Both teams have double team. They've rotated quickly. They've handled the pick and roll. It's been a very well-played basketball game defensively, and points have been hard to come by.
Atlanta with 2 timeouts remaining. The Cleveland Cavaliers with none. And again, Cleveland forced to utilize so many of those timeouts because of the defense against inbounds plays. And Mike Fratello just saw his team turn it over many, many times. And you look at Mark Price, bruised left calf, did not make it to the shoot-around today. They anticipate that he'll be ready to go perhaps in their next outing.
Well, there have not been many turnovers. In the first half, Cleveland only had 4 turnovers, but the Hawks got some key turnovers in the second half, and that was the difference. They were down 11, and they were able to make up the deficit by doing what the Hawks have done to earn some respect around the league, playing defense and getting transition baskets.
Craig Elo back into the game. What an important game for him. And even Lenny Wilkins voiced some concern for Craig's emotion tonight coming into this game. Stacey Augmon continuing with his offensive output, better than 16 points again. He feels confident. And easily, if you're looking for an MVP for this Hawks team throughout their overall team play in this 13-game win streak, Mookie Blaylock's defense, and tonight a beautiful lob to Augmon to regain the lead coming late in the 4th. And another timeout forced as Fratello's defense disallows an inbounds pass.
Well, Lenny says that's okay. That's why we have our timeouts. You're allowed to use them. If you don't like it, call timeout.
And again, let's talk a little bit about the way this game is set up defensively. We have seen 3 24-second clock violations by the Hawks, which speaks volumes for the Cavaliers. But at the pick-and-roll defensive work by the Hawks, particularly by Andrew Lang, cutting off the wing.
Bonus coverage on TNT. They'll run out of timeouts eventually. 95-92, the Hawks with the lead late. And Portland has closed the gap on Dallas. We'll send you back to Reunion after this.
These aren't merely chairs. They're blueprints used by us to help design and create the perfect environment for the driver of the Lexus GS. Because a true performance sedan shouldn't just handle the road. It must also handle its passengers. The Lexus GS.
There once was a more leisurely time when the 12 days of Christmas brought family and friends together. Home Shopping Club brings you 12 weeks of great Christmas gift ideas, from collectibles to jewelry to toys and more, to delight all those on your list. You've got the club.
Home Shopping Club. The front lot.
The side lot.
The back lot.
Ridiculous, but fact.
The Fitzgerald Auto Mall is jammed with 1994 models.
And now we have even a bigger problem.
Our new line of Mazdas and Volkswagens arrived 30 days early.
Take a look. We need 427 cars and trucks sold, so we have room for our new inventory.
We're interrupting our clearance sale
with a liquidation sale.
427 new 94s must go before December 31st.
Come help yourself to low liquidation prices now.
Along with Doug Collins, Ron Thulin in Dallas, where the Mavericks lead by 1. They led by 7. Portland 8 straight points, courtesy of Terry Porter's 2 threes. Harvey Grant with the easy finger roll, only his 6th point of the game, and now the Blazers take the lead by 1. We have 7:40 left to be played at Reunion as the Mavericks looking to break a 15-game losing streak. Whistle and a foul, and that will be on Kersey, I believe. That is his 4th.
We got an interesting matchup right now. You've got Jimmy Jackson being played by Terry Porter. They posted him in the possession before he had the jump hook. This time he gets the little baseline jump shot and draws the foul. So that matchup right now, size-wise, will go to Jimmy Jackson. You've got Strickland being played to Harper.
And now let's take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounds and second chance points, and that has kept Dallas in this ballgame.
We've talked about the Blazers are the #1 offensive rebounding team. They have 15. Their average is 17, and the Mavericks, surprisingly, have averaged about 15 offensive rebounds. They're at 16, so it's given them more shot opportunities, and although they've shot a poor percentage, they've stayed into this game.
Mashburn on Grant. Mashburn tips it away as the shot clock goes to 10. Grant pulls the trigger from the outside.
That's really Harvey Grant's game, is coming off screens and that little medium-range jump shot.
Percy facing up on Mashburn. Harper sets a pick for Jackson to go on Porter.
So swing it back to him and go right into Jimmy Jackson once again.
Harper short on the jump shot, right into the hands of Strickland. Long jump shots, long rebounds. Here comes Porter. Has it knocked away. Last touch, Porter had hit him off the arm. Dallas has the basketball. 74-73, 6:52 left to be played in the ball game. Inside, they can't get the inside shot. Popeye Jones will try it again. This time he is fouled, and that was the story of the first half, Doug. The easy shots won't go down.
Well, again, Morningstar was 1 for 6 in the first half. We have not seen him here in the second half. Greg Greiling getting ready to check back in, and Popeye Jones was 1 for 7. So those two guys combined for 2 for 13, and it's their inability right now to finish around the basket, or they might be leading this game by 6 or 7 points.
Atlanta leading by 7, 27 seconds remaining to be played. Lenny Wilkins return to Cleveland.
Well, I tell you, if Atlanta goes on to win that game tonight, that might be one of the sweeter feelings I'm sure that Lenny Wilkins has had in his coaching career after doing such a wonderful job in Cleveland and taking that team to where he did over 7 years, to be in Atlanta right now. And what is that, 15 straight wins if the Hawks win? I mean, that would be unbelievable. 14 straight, excuse me.
Well, Popeye Jones, 81% on the year. Doesn't get the second one to go. He has 3 points this evening. A rookie out of Murray State. He mentioned played Italy last year. Porter finds some room. Brooks is just going to hammer him to the ground. Portland wants a flagrant foul. Now Harper and Grant jawing. Derek's getting into it. Now Grant wants a piece of Derek Harper. Settle down, guys. Brooks with a good hard foul.
This is one of the things that Dallas had talked about. They were very upset over the last few games during this streak that they have not been tough inside, that when they've gone to when the opposing teams have gone to the basket, they've just opened up and allowed them to finish shots. Brooks takes a very hard foul here. I think we're going to see a technical foul.
That's a technical on Grant.
On both of them, Harvey
both
Grant
of them.
and I guess who, Derek Harper?
Derek Harper and Grant.
It felt like the inside of their defense has been very soft, and coincidentally yesterday Terry Davis practiced with the team for the first time in a long time, and they said that his presence brought a toughness to his team, although he is not in uniform now. And the one thing they've talked about is being tougher inside, and Rooks takes a hard foul. There's no question about this. This is a very, very hard foul, but when you throw your body in there like that, he did go for the ball, and he did put Terry Porter down on his backside.
Oh, we've had 4 technicals, if my addition is correct, so far this evening.
Terry Porter went to the basket with the idea of drawing the foul. There was no question he was in a very uncompromising situation, and he did get the foul.
Here's another look at it.
You see, when Porter leaves his feet and gets inside, he realizes he's going to get fouled, so he takes the foul right there, and no question it was a hard foul. Sean Rooks was not going to give him the three-point play.
Terry remains perfect from the line tonight, 4 of 4. 11 points in the second half, 17 for the ball game. Blazers by a deuce.
See, I think you've got to go back to Jimmy Jackson in the post. He's had success posting up Terry Porter. I think you give him a good long look inside.
Now Mashburn slipped, lost the handle of the ball. Shot clock at 6. Nice spin move in traffic, draws the foul.
It's a creative young player, isn't it? I mean, when he finds out where his openings are in this offense, he's going to score a lot of points because he can spin, he can cross over, and we see the Hawks are 14 straight win, an 11-point win at Cleveland, and I'm sure that the Natives are getting a little restless in Cleveland right now. They have lost a lot of home games. They lose by 11. They're having trouble scoring points. And the fingers will start being pointed here real soon as this season.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Well, they're 7 and 12 now.
4 of 5 from the line for Mashburn, 16 points. Hey, I'm in Atlanta. That's not the same team you and I saw in London. Goodness.
How about their first road game of the year in Chicago when Scottie Pippen doesn't play and they get blown out by about 26 points?
What a job Lenny Wilkins has done. We're tied. Strickler working on Harper. Harper gets a hand up. Maybe got a piece of it. Here comes Mashburn. 3-on-2. He lost the handle to Grant. Then he steals it back to Jackson to the hole.
Buckle up. We're going to have a finish here, Ron. It's a 2-point game.
Oh, I love this game. Robinson on Jones. Dreiling comes over to help. Foul is on Popeye Jones. That is only his third personal foul. Here's that last play, I'd like to call it.
See, I think Mashburn should have given up to Harper. He didn't. The ball was knocked loose, but he didn't quit on the play. He finds the loose ball, and he finds Jimmy Jackson. But Mashburn throws that ball out to Harper. Let him take the ball into the middle of the floor, and then he can be the finisher.
Jackson's done a nice job defensively on Drexler tonight. Drexler the fall away, doesn't get it. Rebound, controlled by the Mavericks. Dreiling right into his hand with an early Christmas present. Harper for three. Buries it. 5 3-pointers for Derek Harper. 15 of his 19 points from the yard.
Derek Harper saying, all you general managers, I can still play.
I'm telling you, the phone's ringing. Illegal defense on Dallas. Now, Derek did not even stutter at this.
Well, look at this. The great rotation on his shot. 5 3-pointers. See that elongated finish? That's what I was talking about, Ron. The shooters have that finish. They leave the hand up. And with Jimmy Jackson, he sort of snaps his wrist. And I think that a guy like Randy Whitman, who's coaching over here, can really help him out with his shot release. And I think you're going to see him improve his outside shooting.
Robinson inside. He is slapped on the play. No basket. Is Robinson scoreless in the second half after 15 in the first half. Dreiling picks up his fifth, and he's really the only Maverick in any type of foul trouble. For the Blazers, you have Grant with 4, Williams with 4, and Kersey with 5, and Kersey's sitting down. Brooks will come back in the lineup. That's what the ovation is for.
They give Greg Dreiling a rest. And you know what? Greg Dreiling did a nice job inside for Dallas. He got out of his comfort zone early in the game when he took 2 quick shots. Quinn Buckner talked to him. And since that point in time, he really has just done the dirty work. Rebounded, defended, and tried to block some shots. Giving some hard fouls around the basket.
Robinson with 17. Mavericks lead it by 3. Mashburn loses the handle. Ball belongs to Portland. Jamal may be trying to do a little too much.
I agree, Ron. I think he just got a little excited right now. He's got to get back defensively.
Grant from the baseline jumper, nothing but net.
Well, he's got a pretty jump shot. I tell you, when you talk about picturesque jump shots, I'm not so sure there's anybody in the NBA has a prettier jump shot than Harvey Grant. The release, the finish, the nice rotation.
Mavericks by 1, nearing the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Now, these are games that Portland used to put in their back pocket. They used to get defensive stops, 4 or 5 of them in a row, score a couple times, and win these ball games. Let's see if they can do this in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It's the 5th team foul now on Dallas, so they will be over the limit, and Portland will shoot free throws the rest of the night.
Portland shooting 73% from the line this year. Let's take a look at Harvey Grant's shot, Doug. You talked about it.
Just watch the release, watch the rhythm, look at the follow-through, look at the rotation. That's a beautiful shot. That really is. If you want to study a jump shot, look at Harvey Grant.
Buck Williams, perfect 3 of 3 from the line, has 7 points. Buck is a gentleman in the last year of his contract. Give him another point, and he's not said a whole lot about it. Portland said, we'll talk to you after the season. Blazers by 1. Nice give and go. Mashburn has it knocked away. Dallas has it. Or Popeye Jones, I should say, has it knocked away. Dallas has the basketball. Quinn doesn't like it.
Well, he thought that Jamal Mashburn was fouled on the play. You be the judge.
Harper turns and shoots the 2 as we're in the replay. Caught the ball, took 1 step, and drilled it. I'd say he feels it tonight. Sort of a understatement. Now Robinson on Rooks. Gets the step. That's what Cliff did in the first half on Rooks, but it's not dropping now. The follow won't even go. Rebound, Popeye Jones. Popeye Jones had 17 rebounds versus New Jersey a few weeks ago. He has 9 this evening. Last 3 games, he's averaged 11 rebounds. Dallas wants to talk about it. They lead it by 1. 3:35 left to be played. We'll be back.
How to identify the mountain man. Should be easy. I mean, doesn't a mountain man only live in really cold climates? Always go to bed when the sun sets? Wear a cowboy hat at all times? Actually, the easiest way to identify a mountain man is by his beer. Smooth Bush beer, or easy drinking Bush Light, the 2 cool beers of the mountain man. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
The Tahitian Islands welcomed over 100,000 vacationers last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES, improved, revised, refined, in a word, new.
This neighborhood, it's tough on kids. I know it was for me. Played ball on the same field. Even hung out at the courts on Lincoln. Used to be pretty hot, too. Yeah, I was that good. Hey, welcome to Foot Locker, man.
What's up, man?
All my employees know to treat every customer right.
I help you, sir. Yeah. Can you tell me about these cross trainers, please?
Hey, customer's the boss. Everyone likes it when they get respect. I can't help it. I see myself about 10 years ago in a lot of those faces. You just have to like people, and you just want to help people.
Mavs by 1 with 3:35 left to be played in the ball game, and Dallas Mavericks have been involved in a lot of close calls this year. Rick Adelman also, and Rick Adelman has been very successful when holding opponents under 100 points.
Well, look what his record is in Portland, 110 and 15 when he holds the opponents under 100 points. And from Dallas's standpoint, this year they've had a lot of close calls. They've lost 8 games by 7 points or less. So here they are once again. 3:30 to go in the ball game.
Harper for 3. I mean, that was from about, I'd say, 27 feet. That'll bring him back to reality quickly.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do now is foul. Harper took a tough shot. You don't want to foul and put him on the line because you are over the limit.
Neither team shooting exceptionally well. Portland only 38%, Dallas 37%. Jackson looking for the pick by Robinson. There it is. Drexler takes the jumper. Last touch by Buck Williams over Sean Rooks.
That's Portland's pet play. It's their 2-side play. It's the screen roll with Drexler running screen roll with Cliff Robinson, and you've got Porter coming out as staggered double screen on the weak side. They're going to make Drexler make those jump shots. They're going underneath the screen.
Jackson, no place to go. Harper swings it around. Mashburn for 3, doesn't get it. Jackson had the rebound, lost it. Last touch, let's see, by the Mavericks. Good hustle, though, by Jimmy Jackson. He is throwing his body everywhere tonight. And I like Jimmy Jackson. Yeah. This is the first time I've seen him outside of Havana, Cuba at the Pan Am Games. Nice steal by Harper. He's got Popeye Jones and has it knocked away by Porter. But Derek Harper, who's the career leader in steals here in Dallas and came off a career low in steals last year, comes up with a big thief right now.
I tell you, Derek Harper makes a sensational steal here against Terry Porter, and this is a veteran play. He took a bad 3-point shot, and he didn't stop playing. He came back and got the big steal. So Derek Harper right now is in the midst of, I think, having probably one of his better games of the season.
Popeye Jones at the line. He is 2 of 3 this evening, 4 points. Here's the close calls we were talking about. 3 of 4 for Popeye Jones. He has 5 for the ball game. The Mavericks up their lead to 3. 2:40 left to be played. Grant being guarded by Mashburn, gives it up to Robinson. Rooks gets on him.
Isolation here for Robinson.
He just is going to throw it up, doesn't get it, but we have a whistle and a foul. Well, as far as our game reset, neither team has a foul to give as Mashburn picks up the foul. Blazers 3 and a 20, Mavs 2 and a 20. And at the line, it will be Cliff Robinson.
Free throw shooting could be very important here coming down the stretch, and neither team a great free throw shooting team. Portland at 73% and the Mavericks at 74%.
Cliff now tonight, Doug, 4 of 5 from the line.
Is that his first point in the second half?
That was his third point in the second half. All free throws, though. That is his fourth in the second half. All free throws, 19 for the ball game. The lead is 1. 2.5 left to be played at Reunion Arena.
Well, you got to go back to either Jackson, Harper, or Mashburn. Those are your 3 offensive players. So you got to let those 3 guys, one of them get the shot up on this possession. Those are the guys that got to carry you.
Mashburn rolled, shot clock at 8. There's Jackson in the crowd. Double pumps, doesn't get it, gets it right back. Third time, not a charge. Fourth time, is not a charge, but tipped up and in by Popeye Jones.
How did Jimmy Jackson miss all those easy shots?
I don't know, but if you'd have missed another one, you would have taken my right arm.
Oh, my goodness.
We're under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes. Porter for 3, doesn't get it. Rebound, Rooks had it, regains control. Mavericks have it with the lead by 3.
That was a tough shot by Terry Porter. You got him in a penalty, get something going to the basket. You take a tough outside shot. Now Dallas is in the driver's seat, a chance to go up 5.
A lot of time left.
Boy, he's got a crossover that's unbelievable.
Mashburn goes down hard, or Popeye Jones goes down hard. Dallas has the basketball. I'll tell you one thing about this Dallas Maverick team. They are giving it everything. As Dallas calls it 20, they are throwing bodies all over the place. Doug, I think the effort is there.
Yes, it is, and there's only 3 seconds on the shot clock. The ball hit the backboard. It did not hit the rim, so they're going to have to diagram something here to get a shot up quickly. Ron, I believe that Mashburn has as good as crossover dribbles maybe anybody in this game other than Timmy Hardaway. But he'll come at you and he'll lock you and cross you over. I think one of the things he's going to continue to do is maybe pull up and take that shot.
Here's Jimmy Jackson. He had a few attempts at it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Popeye Jones will tip it in. We're not going to give it to Jimmy. Jimmy had 4 shots at a guy, and then Dallas throws it away.
That looked like that ball was tipped.
Took a pretty good skip. Portland has it. 1:27 left to be played. Is Strickland quickly into the lineup for offensive purposes. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, though, because Grant's going out. You take a good shooter out, I guess they want quickness on the floor.
Yeah, I might have taken out a Buck Williams or someone that maybe Buck will be in there for the offensive rebounding.
You've got Porter, Drexler, Robinson.
Watch the give and go.
And Mashburn has to foul Drexler from behind. Only his 3rd, however, but Drexler will go to the line where he's made every one but 1 out of 7. Drexler tonight, 18 points, 9 in the first, 9 in the second half.
Drexler, 2 shots.
We'll have a couple. The lead is 2 for Dallas. 1:16 left.
That's a big miss right there. That's a very, very big miss because now you put yourself in a position to go up 2 possessions if you score. You go up 4 rather than 3.
Right. Jackson working on Porter. Got away from him, lost the handle, just pushes it back out to Jones. Shot clock at 7.
Feel the excitement of this young team, though.
Oh, yeah. Jackson tries the dish inside. He had Popeye Jones there. That was a problem with Jimmy last year. 4 turnovers a game.
Young teams have very difficult time finishing games. This is where you separate the experienced teams from the young teams that have never been there before.
Now Mashburn on Drexler. Drexler gets a step. Jones cuts it off. Buck Williams inside for 2.
Well, that's why Buck Williams is in the game. Now, if you're Dallas, do you try to get a 2-for-1 possession? They're going to call a timeout. You have 19 seconds on the shot clock, 34 seconds on the game clock, so you've got an opportunity here to get 2-for-1, but you've got to make sure you get a good one.
We'll be back with the final 34.9.
34.9 seconds remaining. Ron, let's talk about inexperience. Jimmy Jackson going to the basket, drawing the defense. And the bad pass is 6th turnover of the ball game. Now let's talk about experience. Drexler going to the basket, they help. They drop off to Buck Williams in the layup, and that's what I was talking about, the ability to finish games. And right now, this Dallas team is in the process of learning how to do that. That's why they have so many close games, and that's why they've lost so many close games. And you know what, Ron? They need this game a lot more tonight than Portland does. They've got San Antonio coming up. They go to New York. They've got a very difficult schedule. They played their hearts out, and they need to find a way to win this game tonight.
Harper, Mashburn rolled, shot clock. They're going to lose the 2-for-1 here in about 1 second, and they've lost the 2-for-1.
They got to get a good shot now.
And the shot clock's at 6. Harper pulls up, doesn't get it. Rebound. Portland will have it with 15. They're not going to let Dallas set up. But then Rick Edelman calls a timeout with 12.8 left, tied at 87. It looked good when it left Derek's hand. Wim Buckner up being a cheerleader. Let's see. Derek Harper's shot.
It's going to be a step-back jump shot. Little step-back jump shot. He creates room, gets a pretty good look at it. The ball rims out. And a strong defensive rebound by Buck Williams. You see Derek Harper is upset.
Harper with a big 3 in Game 3 of the 86 Western Semis versus the Lakers. Didn't get it tonight. Let's go back to Ernie Johnson for a quick update. Ernie?
Thank you, Ron. We will update you on the Atlanta Hawks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The streak continues for Atlanta. They've won 14 in a row tonight at Richfield Coliseum. Lenny Wilkins beat his old team. The Hawks beat their old coach. Mark Price could not play for the Cavs, who put a 20-4 run together in the second period. Gerald Wilkins, Dominique's little brother, through the paint. 8-point lead for Cleveland at the half. And the Atlanta defense comes to the fore. They have held 13 out of 17 opponents under 100. Andrew Lang with the block on Doherty. 88-86 game late. Kevin Willis doesn't hesitate, buries the jumper to tie it. Part of a 17-4 Atlanta run to end this game. Mookie Blaylock up top to Stacey Augmon for 2 of his team-high 23. The Hawks have won 14 straight, folks, 103-92. The Cavs have lost 3 in a row. Now back to Reunion.
Thank you, Ernie. We're tied at 87, 12.8. Portland has the basketball. They have 2 full timeouts remaining. Dallas, 1 full timeout. You see Harvey Grant, Doug, your Portland. Drexler has struggled, although he has some points tonight. Who do you want to get it to, or do you want to try to draw some type of foul?
Well, one thing Portland has always done in this situation is they've gone to what their play really is called a 2-side, which is a screen roll. Normally Drexler with either Cliff Robinson or Buck Williams sliding out, looking to turn the corner, and then you have Porter coming off a double stack. Now with Strickland in the ball game, they might look for him to run it and look for either Drexler or Porter off penetration. I'm a little surprised right now that Harvey Grant is not in the game for his shooting. Now, they want Buck Williams in there for his offensive rebounding and for Robinson, but I think in this situation, Harvey Grant is the guy that can make jump shots. So we'll have to see what they do, but normally they like to get it in Drexler's hand and go screen roll. Here's the ball. So he's stepping out and goes screen and roll. Here's the screen roll.
Drexler baseline, the spin move, loses the handle. The ball, Dallas has it. They call the timeout with 2 seconds left, but the clock ran down to .7. And now Billy Oakes is being, had a case pleaded to him. Let's see.
Timeout.
Timeout, and it should be 2 seconds. When his hand went up, it was like 2-5. And now Billy Oakes and the rest of the officials are going to huddle it up, but almost 2 complete seconds went off the clock. Let's see what they do. Bill Oakes talking to the scores table and the timer. 1 full second. Now they're putting 0.3 of a second back. But boy, Doug, I saw his hand go up a lot sooner than that.
Ron, let's talk about what they did defensively here. You know what Portland's going to do. They're going to run their 2-side, all right? Drexler's going to pop out. He's going to catch the basketball. And they're going to space the floor. We hold it right there. Now here comes Buck Williams. They're going to run screen roll. Instead of letting him go to the middle, they said, if they run this play, we're going to push it baseline. And they did. They push it baseline. They rotate up defensively, and they get the turnover. So that's scouting. You know what a team wants to do in a critical stage of the game. And you say, if they do this, we're going to push it baseline. All game long, they've gone under the screen. This time they change it, and they push it baseline. And it could be a game-winning play if they can score.
Well, you saw the timeout being called with 2 seconds left, but the reality has 1 second left in the ball game. The Mavericks, you know, what can you do now? You don't have that big post-up guy we talked about where you can maybe try the lob and have him flip it in. Is the most dangerous guy the guy that brings the inbounds pass?
Well, a lot of times what you'll see in this situation is you'll see a smaller player step up and back screen for a big guy going to the basket. There has to help a little bit. Then you step the smaller guy out, you hit him, he catches and looks for the quick shot. So maybe they might try something like that, or curling a guy off the screen to the corner, hitting him in one motion, let him catch and just turn and get the shot. You can catch it and shoot it because you do have the 1 second. Point three would only be a lob.
Well, Popeye Jones, Doug, is going to trigger the inbounds pass. He's joined by Rooks, Mashburn, Jackson, and Harper. Robinson, Porter, Strickland, Grant, and Drexler.
Keep your eye on Rooks setting a screen, either for Harper or Jimmy Jackson.
Now, Popeye Jones cannot move his feet. He has to sit there. We've got a delay of game called against Portland. That's only a warning. That's what they wanted to do to see exactly what Dallas is going to run. Gets the ball in. Jackson fires at the buzzer. Almost went in, and we're going to overtime. The Dallas Mavericks trying to snap a 15-game losing streak, 0-10 at home, and they've got 5 minutes to try to remedy all of that. We'll be back with the overtime from Reunion Arena in a moment. Minutes left in this ball game. The start of overtime. We're tied at 87 apiece. Let's take a look at that last play. If Jimmy Jackson would have gotten the handle on that ball, he might have gotten a better shot.
Well, it's one of the options I talked about. Rooks setting a screen, and you run the guy, curling him, trying to go to the corner. Actually, Mashburn came up and got in the way. He had two guys right on top of each other on that play, but Mashburn and Jimmy Jackson came together like two wide receivers in the same area where one guy can really play you. So a little bit of a breakdown in the play, but again, that's the execution of the inexperienced team.
Well, it's not the most well-played game tonight, we'll be honest with you, at 38%, couple of almost 40 turnovers between the two teams as Donald Carter, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, standing. But as Jim Killingsworth, former TCU basketball coach, told me, it's like two guys running 100. Doesn't make a difference if it's 12 flat or 9 as long as it's competitive. And it is indeed that tonight. Now Popeye Jones slaps Strickland upside the head. No whistle. Robinson on the cut. Rooks picks him up. Puts the hands up. Just enough. Robinson wanted the foul.
See, I think what they're ruling is that Portland really wants a foul on that play, but I think the referees are ruling that Cliff Robinson is jumping in and creating all the contact on that play, so they're not giving him that call in the second half.
Rooks working on Robinson. He puts it up and he drops it.
I can't tell you how badly Dallas needs Sean Rooks. If you put him out there and he's playing 100% effectively with Mashburn, Harper, and Jimmy Jackson, they've got some weapons they can go to.
Drexler lost the handle to Robinson, loses the handle. A little sloppy. Porter, the scoop, won't go. And Buck Williams just unmolested with his 14th rebound. The three by Drexler. Oh, he didn't call back.
That's a horrible shot, too.
Oh, that put a dent in the backboard.
But, I mean, there's no need to fire that quick three up with a hand in your face.
He is 42% on the year. From three, only 26%. Mavericks with the ball in the lead.
Mashburn posting up against Drexler.
Rooks looks to pass. Nobody there. Takes the 15. Nowhere close.
Jimmy Jackson had cut to the basket. He almost threw that ball to Quinn Buckner.
Strickland between the legs dribble. Harper on him.
Somebody's got to make a jump shot here for Portland because they're really packing in the defense. Porter's hit two big threes for them.
Into the corner as the shot clock hits 5. Terry Porter buries it.
See, Drexler now playing at the small forward position is matched up against Mashburn. So you have a good matchup there. You've got really 3 guards in the game for both teams now.
19 for Porter. Jackson lost the handle. Mashburn chases it down with 7 on the shot clock. Tries to create with the left hand, won't go. Forcing it. And it ends up in a 2-on-1. Hopper, Strickland, missed it. Porter. And Sean Rooks just comes from behind and fouls him hard.
That's 2 tough fouls now that Rooks has taken on Terry Porter. Portland had a 2-on-1 fast break there. I thought when Strickland drew the defense, he was going to drop it off to Terry Porter. He took a tough shot. I don't know whether fatigue is setting in or not, but no one from Dallas got back defensively on that play.
Well, Portland 80% for the ball game for regulation from the free throw line. We see Terry Porter, who has now hit 38 of his last 39 from the stripe. up at 89. 2:53 left to be played in overtime.
Well, the Mavericks going to go here to get their offense now. Harper has shot the ball well from the perimeter. Jimmy Jackson has struggled, especially on his penetrating drives. And Masper in the last few possessions had looked, I think, to over-penetrate a little bit. He's run away from his jump shot. So they're going to go 3-1 possession here, 31 with Harper going right to the basket.
Lost the handle. Portland last touch it. Dallas has it. 16 on the shot, 2:44 on the game clock.
Masper's got to take the jumper. He's over-penetrating here. He's got to get himself in position and look to pull up and take the jump shot.
Goes baseline, cross course it to Jackson. Barely gets a handle on it. Nice move, Jimmy Jackson. Oh, they're going to call it for traveling.
Well, Jimmy's had a tough night. He's got, what, 2 assists and I think 7 turnovers on the game.
My goodness. It was a pretty good-looking move, we thought. Blazers by 1. That's the time remaining. Lower right-hand portion of your screen.
Here's the screen roll once again.
Robinson wanted a little alley-oop, didn't get it. There's the screen roll. Robinson's first field goal since the first half.
Dallas going to call timeout.
They're down by 3. They have the ball with 2:07 left to be played. Good timeout by Quinn Buckner as he's schooling Sean Rooks. 92-89, 2:07 left to be played in OT. Let's go to EJ in Atlanta.
Thanks, Ron. Let's talk about the record-setting Houston Rockets. Already this season, they tied the Washington Capitals for that 15-0 start. Now they got their sights set on the New York Knicks of 69-70, who got out of the gate 23-1 for the best start with 1 loss in NBA history. Right now, the Rockets are 20-1 after what happened tonight in Miami against the Heat. Remember, last time these two teams played, it was a close shave. OT. That happened at the Summit. Tonight, Harold Miner all over the Dream. The Heat in this thing, down 76-70, trying to close the gap. Brett Long loses the handle and hits Kenny Smith. He's all by his lonesome for an 8-point Houston lead. Vernon Maxwell was the story in the fourth. 16 of his 25 points came then, so did 4 of his 3-pointers. Kevin Lockery can just look on. Look at the alley-oop. Mario Elie gave him a 16-point lead. Houston on its way to a 97-88 win over Miami. The Rockets are 20-1. Now let's go back to reunion, guys.
Thanks, Ernie. 2:07 left to be played in OT. 92-89 our score. Let's take a look at a couple of Portland baskets, the last 2 baskets for them. First, Porter.
Well, Terry Porter makes a tough baseline shot here to tie the ball game. Hand in his face, shot clock winding down. And then when in doubt, you go back to the screen roll, and Cliff Robinson rolls out. Instead of forcing it baseline this time, they allow Drexler to go over the top, and he hits the first field goal of the second half.
There's Terry Porter. Derek Harper. 5 3-pointers tonight for Harper. We were tied at the end of 3. We were tied in regulation, 87 apiece. Dallas is led by as many as 7. They trail by 3 and they have the ball. Still a lot of time left. Harper working on Strickland. There's the roll by Jones. Brooks cuts right in the middle, and he's hammered. He loses the handle. Good clean block. They had the cutter, though, again, Doug.
They just haven't been able to finish. They've been in the right positions tonight in a lot of situations, and Portland has just smothered a lot of their shots at the basket. Drexler here posting up Masper.
Nice defensive play. Pop by Jones. Had the right hand on Robinson, the left hand on the ball.
And again, Drexler tries to force that pass on that give and go with Robinson. That's twice now that they've thrown it away on that play after it worked twice the first 2 times they ran it.
Masper sets the pick. Harper rolls off it. 9 on the shot clock.
Masper posting Strickland.
Inside. Nice look inside to Popeye Jones.
See, he's going to get the double teams, Ron. When he passes the ball like that, someone's going to get opportunities, and they've had them tonight. That time Popeye gets the easy layup. There's a screen roll once again. See if they force it down baseline.
1-point game. Drexler on top, shot clock at 5. Popeye Jones picks it up. Drexler drains the jumper.
Well, Drexler with a tough jump shot.
My goodness.
Still plenty of time. It's a 2-possession game right now.
21 for Clyde Drexler, who's only averaged 11 points a game the last 3 contests. Mashburn in the jumper. Doesn't get it. Tip. Won't go. Tipped again. Popeye Jones.
Boy, you got to like his effort. We said on the start of the game here tonight, he has more offensive rebound than defense. I think that's going to be the case tonight. Mavericks need to stop now, trailing only by 1.
Strickland to Drexler. Shot clock at 10. Drexler goes to the floor. Then he goes baseline. Robinson inside. The foul by Rooks. Robinson missed the left-hander.
Rooks has to be very careful. He does not want to get a technical foul now.
His 5th first.
5 on Sean Rooks, who has played extremely well this evening, and this is probably his best game of the 93-94 season. Only his 11th game of the year.
That's a good foul, though. You didn't give him the layup. Now, had he made the layup, it would not have been a good foul. You give him the 3-point play opportunity. You got to hope he misses 1 of 2. And then 2 points ties the game. A 3-pointer wins it. You go down to the last possession of the game.
With now 6 of 7 from the line. Stay tuned. Coming up next on TNT, it's High Seas Adventure. Going to man the Vikings go in search of fabled treasures. Sidney Poitier stars in the long ship. That's come up after our game. Cliff hits them both. He is 7 of 8 from the line. He has 23 points for the ball game, and with 25 seconds left to be played, the Blazers now have a 3-point advantage. Ernie, we have an exciting one here at Reunion.
Indeed you do, Stu. Let me tell you also about the New York Knicks. There was excitement there tonight, too. They got this deal where if the Knicks hold an opponent to 85 points or under 85 points, everybody gets free pizza. Now, earlier this year, Detroit came in there. They had 82 points, time running out. Marcus Liberty cans a 3. Everybody goes home hungry. There was more suspense tonight as the Knicks played host to the Denver Nuggets, who came out there and played them pretty tough. Look at Robert Pack, blowing right by John Starks. They're down 50-47 at the half, well on course to pass 85. But the Knicks dominated the second half. No look to Anthony Mason. Happy birthday, Anthony, number 27 today. Patrick Ewing over Brian Williams. The Knicks got this thing under control. They would forge a 93-84 lead with this bucket over Dan Issel's guys. So the Nuggets sitting on 84. Darnell Mee at the line, a chance to ruin everybody's night.
He gets the treatment, and it's not able to hit. Final seconds, there will be free pizza. And we're all relieved that there will be free pizza. The Knicks win it 93-84, and all those fans can thank me for that. Not me, but Darnell Mee. Back to you in Dallas.
That's good, Ernie.
Well, if they gave free pizza away here tonight, guy wouldn't lose that much money.
We knew we couldn't thank Ernie for free pizza because he doesn't give anything away free.
I don't know. He had some pretty doggone good cookies at his house on Saturday night. 96-93 our score. 25 seconds left to be played in the ball game. As you see, Derek Harper 5 of 9 from the line or from the arc, 6 of 13 the Mavericks.
Now, do you go for 3 or do you go for a quick 2? You still have a timeout left, still plenty of time. Ron, I don't think unless a 3 completely presents itself that you diagram a shot to get a 3. I think you try to get a quick 2 because normally teams will not foul you. They will give up a 2-point shot.
Whistle.
I think it's going to be a moving. Oh, you know what? It's an illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
Popeye Jones was out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. And Dallas turns it over. A dagger in Quinn Buckner's heart.
He was out of bounds, and you cannot screen out of bounds. They changed that rule about 3 or 4 years ago when Detroit used to run all those screens on the baseline for the guards and run you right into the stanchion underneath the basket.
And there is the foul. Drexler will go to the line. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Let's see if we can see it on our replays. What are you talking about, Doug? Good call, Doug.
All right, the screener cannot be out of bounds. Look at Popeye Jones right